Hello, morning, my friends. Hello, welcome to another exciting edition. It might not be exciting. It might not. Another potentially exciting edition. Fox's Morning Nonsense. Yes, mine. Possibly daily. Mostly daily. Occasionally daily. Hopefully daily. Morning show. Live show where I'll build things, paint things, all kinds of whatever's on my bench at the time. And today, as you can see, of course, we're carrying on with the Fanhome DeLorean Time Machine partwork in 1/8 scale. Yeah. But we'll get going started. We'll get... hang on. Coffee. We shall get started momentarily. Before we do, let me get all the nonsense out of the way. The other nonsense. First of all, don't forget this is a show. What am I doing? It's not a show for e-models at all. I'm going into e-models mode. That's not right. By the way, I'm sponsored by emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs. Yes, this is Fox's Morning Nonsense. If you'd like to keep this, help this keep more coffee, talking hard, words far too complicated. I should just go now, shouldn't I? Just stop the stream and go back to bed. I'm still not used to mornings yet. If you'd like to help support this channel and keep it alive, you can become a patron or a channel member, because I count on my supporters to keep this channel going. I do this for a living, and without them, I'd just have nothing. So I'd like to put food on the table. So if you want to, you can become a patron at patreon.com/gurufoxx, GURUFOXX, or you can become a channel member by pressing the join button under any of my content. And that way you can get the same access to stuff as a patron. Either way, you're supporting the channel and keep it alive. If you can't do either of those, don't panic. I still love you. Just make sure to watch the adverts on any video, and that really helps me out massively. So let them run through, and that's a real big help. Have a quick look at people in chat. We have in chat the first person, Dickie Whiteside. Says, good morning, buddy. Hope all is well. I was thinking about getting this build. I'm working on the R2 with my kid, but she's absolutely 100% not interested, so it's really slow going. Yeah. I think you're in the UK, aren't you? This part work is now discontinued in the UK. Yes, I'm afraid. The way part works work nowadays is they release it, they get 1 billion subscriptions, they make that many, and then they take it off. They take it off and stop it. It'll probably come back at some point. It's just about to release in the US. So if you're in the US, you can pre-order. You can sign up for this in advance. It's due to launch this month. I've got all the relevant links below in the description. But yeah, if you're in the UK, yeah, you're SOL at the minute. They'll probably bring it back at some point. They'll probably bring it in and out to give people chances. But at the moment, it's out of print. But keep an eye on it. It might come back. But in the US, yeah, go for it. Canada, Fanhome DeAgostini, they don't have an office in the Canadias. They don't have a publication house because it's a publisher. So yeah, you're not going to get it in Canada, I don't think. Sorry about that. There's lots of countries where they don't have an office. They don't have a publishing arm. So anyway, yes. So yeah, sorry you're having a struggle with the R2. Then she'll probably get interested when it starts to move around and do stuff. Then she'll be like, have you sat down and watched Star Wars with her a lot? I mean, a lot. I mean, seriously, a lot. You know, just psychologically traumatize her with significant amounts of Star Wars. She'll be on board. Sophie loves RCs in. Hi Vox. Hey Sophie, big hugs to you. Eon's Car says, good morning, afternoon, evening, folks. Welcome to you as well, my friend. Sophie says, homemade dark chocolate muffins for everyone. Ooh, I'll have those. Bobbin says, use the white gloves you know you want to. I'm pointing the finger. Yes, that was a one-off thing and it never actually got anywhere. I will be using the normal gloves because I don't know if it'll come out on camera, but this paintwork you can see there, this paintwork is an absolute pig as a fingerprint magnet, because this is bare metal with a silver paint brushed over the top kind of roughly, so it has a sort of brushed effect. Yeah, and I don't quite know how to get those fingerprints out yet because like alcohol hasn't helped, and I can't tell if it's actually just rubbing the paint off. It could be. May just end up covered in fingerprints. So I'm going to stick gloves on when we start going back to the body panels. Normal gloves, not white gloves. Right, and that's everybody in chat so far. Now it is a morning time, of course, and I never expect big viewers in chat on the morning. But if you are watching this, because you know most people are asleep or at work or something like that, but if you are watching this and you're not in the live chat, come and join the cool kids. Click on the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner down under Fox somewhere. click on that. It'll take you to YouTube where you can carry on watching and you can join the cool chat. Yes. Right, so we're going to carry on today. I did a little bit of work on Festus Friday Frolic. I got the one door done. I'll put my gloves on so I can actually handle things. Yeah, I'm going to get 3 gloves on this build. I can see I'm going to be running out of... Oh, I hate when you get... Oh, no. I thought I had 1 glove left in the box. That would have been most annoying. I can see I'm going to have to order more gloves. Have I got more gloves? I've got more gloves, but they're either black in the right size or orange and too small. Not ideal, so I have to make sure I don't rip these because they've got to last me for the whole stream. Yeah. Black gloves are great when you're filming, not so great when you're streaming because of the white balance and exposure and stuff, but never mind. So yeah, so we did a door on Festus Friday stream. Got the interior of that all in, although I've not yet seen where the bit is to wind the window up and down. This bit of window does move, it's just very, very stiff. It actually doesn't move now. You can wind it up or down by pulling it. But there's no, I'm assuming it's electric in the real thing because there's no actual thing to make it go up and down. So I guess you just have to do it yourself, which is weird. But yeah, I'm going to leave that up anyway because it's up now and it's very stiff. You've got a wing mirror there and you've got the awesome wing mirror reflectivity, which is nice. See it there? So I think what we're doing is we're hanging this door and then we're building the next door. So now, apologies for the lighting if it's a bit dark over here. It is hard to film these things because they are so big. You either have to have the camera right close for the little bits or far away to see everything. And there's never a happy medium. So, yes. Right, so anyway, I'm going to put my lenses on so I can see stuff. And we shall crack on. Anyway, how is everyone this Morgenstern? Hopefully you are all fine and dandy. What issue are we actually on? I think we're on issue 70. I think. Yes, issue 70 starts with hanging the door. Hanging, well hanging that is. I'll put the door back on there for a second just to have it out of the way. I can't see the chat because there's a big car in the way. Don't forget, folks, I've got the chat there. So if you are wanting to get my attention, if I don't notice your comment, just do it in capital letters so I've got a chance to see it. But I should see it because it's the only chat there is. Right, so let us get pack 70. And hinge panel, hinge. Get the pack 70 open. Yes, how are you all? I've still not got used to mornings yet. I need something to cut this open on. Oh well, I've got nothing. Never mind. I'll use nothing then. There's a tiny little component, there it goes, that won't slip down to the bottom of the bag. Still not got used to mornings yet. As I've said before, Mama Wolf and I'm a carer for Mama Wolf, and her schedule is get up in the afternoon, go to bed at God knows what in the morning. And so that's what we've been living on for the last couple of years. Yeah, it's not been ideal. So I've had to kind of reorient my schedule to normal time now. Oh, what's that? Bobbins put a £5 super chat in. Oh, he says, for a highly polished. Now, because you've paid for it, I'll say, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Oh, think of the money. Chassis. Oh, I feel filthy. I feel dirty. Call me Wayne. Oh, I don't like that. No. Chassis. Just to put the record straight, it is chassis, not chassis. Oh, I feel. I need a shower and cleaning. Oh, the ch word. Doing well, taking things slowly, says the Orange Cod. Glad to hear it, buddy. Because you've been struggling a bit, haven't you? Right, now. Do we have QM screws? Do I need to keep the bag? We do not have QM screws. So I need to make sure I keep the bag. I've got my tray of screws. Always keep your screws, folks. And NM. I know we've got NM screws. They're there. I can see them. So I can take them out of the bag. Out of the bag! Never throw your screws away. That will be a careless and silly thing to do. Anyway, hope it all looks and sounds okay today. Do let me know if there's any audio or video problems, because I won't know otherwise. Unless you tell me. Today we are streaming in glorious 1440p, but only at 30 frames a second, because you don't need 60 FPS for me at the bench, and I may as well save on the bandwidth. Less bandwidth means more reliability. When I do gaming streams, I'll do them at 60 FPS. We've had no drop frames, jolly good. Right, so I'm going to put these to the side carefully, because I think we're going to have lots of wobbling around now trying to get this door to hang. So, I need to turn things over. Let me put the screws in there. Right, so let's see what we need to do. Step 1, turn the door assembly upside down and put the hinge panel in place. Ensure the wire fits through the gap. Okay, and then we need 1, 2, 3, 4 NM. Oh, open my oil up. Screws of the NM. I'll just take this off and I'll just move this puppy out of the way. Oh, it might not turn up today while we're streaming, but I've got one update for you as well. Do you remember last week when we built the luggage compartment? And I made the strap. The spare wheel goes in there, and I made the strap that holds the spare wheel in place. Well, yeah, the moment I started to try and thread the strap through the little thing, the strap goes through there, it just started fluffing out. It looks like seatbelt material, but the moment you go near it, it just fluffs out, and there's no way that is getting through that tiny little hole. So what I've decided to do, I have ordered the Mike Lane, who does tons of accessories for Partworks, including the DeLorean. I've ordered the luggage compartment set, the full set, because all you get in the kit is your spare wheel, which goes in there. What I've actually ordered is the luggage compartment set, which consists of a carpet to go on the floor. I know you can't see that because it's black and it's all dark. A carpet to go on the base, then a block of foam. The wheel sits in there in the foam and rests within. Then another block of foam that includes a selection of die-cast tools, all fitting in the foam. And then you get a second piece of carpet that goes underneath the frame of the bonnet. So what I'm going to need to do is take all this out again and disassemble the bonnet and put the carpet on there. The reason I've done that is because once that wheel is in the foam, I can take this, which normally clips to the bodywork on with that bit there, clicks into a hole. I'm going to take that and put it that way around. So I can have this over the wheel, like that, covering up the frayed bit that's no use to me at all. The foam and the wheel will hold that in place. It's a bit skanky there, but I can turn it over. And then what I will do is I'll use a little piece of plastic card or something, and I'll just build something that looks a bit like a buckle. It doesn't have to be accurate. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to see in there. A few bits of plastic card that I can stick on there and paint over just to make it look a bit like a buckle. And then that can sit on the wheel like that. And nobody will ever know. I mean, they will, but they won't, because I've told you now, so they will. But there's nothing I can do with that. That is never going to thread through the tiny holes in the buckle. It's just... So it's a really nice material, but it's just kind of, yeah. So, but that way, because if I didn't get the piece of foam, this would probably just fall out all the time. So I thought, I'll get that anyway. It'll look nice. It'll distract from the fact that the buckle isn't actually a buckle. And nobody will know. Shh, don't tell anyone. They'll never know. But I'm going to take that strap and put it to one side because it's going to fall out. That's why I haven't attached the bonnet in permanently yet with the pistons, because I need to take it all out again. But I don't think that'll turn up while we're going live. Right, so let me put this over there. It's already weighing quite a lot. It's quite significant. It's about 8 kilograms when it's done, this thing. Right, so we need the thing. Passes Festa. Oh, Festa's in. Hey, Festa. Big hugs to my friend Festa, my very good buddy and brother. Festa 67's Workshop from Festa 67's Workshop, that YouTube channel that you all know and love. Passes Festa a homemade dark chocolate muffin. Festa says, oh, thanks, Sophie. They're very nice. I've eaten 52 of them now, and I'm very fat. So, we need to install the device. Install the device. Which goes, there's a little hole there for the wire. So this goes like that. Is this on camera? Probably not. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. It needs to sit in there like that. It needs to sit in there like that. There you go. Lovely. Lovely. Yes, I had really no intention of doing mods on this or any of my partworks, but with that strap I thought, oh, let's just go for it. Might as well just give it a go. They're not cheap. The little luggage set is about 30 quid, but if you are doing any of these partworks, you know, this or the Ecto 1 or the Batmobile, things like that, go and check out my... I've not checked the other one. There are other places that do mods for these, but I've only checked out Mike Lane. But go and check them out. There's tons of stuff. He's got loads of like carpet and stuff for the drivers, for the you know, the cockpit, whatever you want to call the driver compartment. Lots of things that just make your partwork look a bit more spectacular. Because, you know, it would be nice if these partworks had lots and lots more little bits of detail and stuff, but they've got to keep the price down. These things are expensive as they are. You know, you can be paying anywhere between 700 quid to £1,000 for these things. And that's just the way things are. And but there's things he's got, like he's got the panel that goes behind the driver's seat. He's got carpeting for everything. He's got lots of little accessories. He's got the pull cable on the red thing that's behind the driver's seat that I'm not quite sure what it is. All kinds of bits and bobs. He's got I think he's got a slightly improved flux capacitor that looks better. A Christmas tree for the bonnet and all this kind of stuff. So go and check him out. He's also got it is expensive, but he's also got a set of proper metal and wood train tracks. This partwork does come with, it's actually 150 issues, can you believe it? This partwork, there's millions of them. It actually comes with an option to put the railroad wheels on it and then display it on a piece of train track. But the train track comes with like plastic sleepers, and it's a bit bendy. It's not exactly great. But he does you an alternative, which is actual metal and wood train tracks, which looks fabulous. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the train version yet. I'll build the thing for the bonnet and all that kind of stuff. You know, but I think 25 issues are just building the train tracks. Here's a sleeper and a piece of rail. There you go. So, yes. Right, that's on. I mean, that's on even. The hinge plate. Hinge plate. Now, it says... The next step should be working on the upper frame of the DeLorean. Identify the ringed area. That's it there. I've identified it. It's there. Right, so we need to get that frame back up. Let me put that to one side. Yes, I hope you're all well today. What's the weather like there? Here it is dry. A little bit warm, but not massively warm. A little bit muggy. Muggy. Ah, monkey. No, no monkey, muggy. Okay. Right, hydraulic arm that way around. Look. It's very stiff. That's probably good. It'll stop the door opening all the time. Okay, so that needs to go in a little piece there. Are we on camera? No, probably not. This is why I've got the camera scoped all the way out, you see. If I knew I was working on little things all day, I'd be able to have the camera closer in, but I'm not, so I can't. That is the order of things. I've identified that area. Can you identify it? I've identified it. That goes in there. QM screws. Need a little metal plate. I like muffins, says Bobbin, a little bit needily. Are you being a bit subtle there, Bobbin? I like muffins. Yeah, go on, give him a muffin. He's just gonna strike if you don't. We love Bobbins, so he deserves a muffin. Bobbins deserves a muffin just for being Bobbins. Bobbins is one of those people that, if you're one of those people, now Bobbins is one of those people that's been around since the year dot. That doesn't actually do anything if you do it that way, you dingus. He's been following me in Festa for like 1 billion years. So Bobbins definitely deserves all the hugs and cookies and things. Need to get 2 QM screws. I'll just leave them in the bag, but I'll get 2 out if I can. Easier said than done with these screws. 2 QM screws. Oh, that was nearly a rude word then. QM screws. Don't say rude words, Fox. Think of the money. A little bit of oil. Just screw these. This is just a plate that holds, a little baffle plate that holds the door hinge piston in place. Now it's only a bit of thin photo etchy type stuff, so I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm just going to very loosely screw it in. You can worry about why it's not actually going into a hole later. It is a hole. There is no hole. What? Hang on a minute. Something here is incorrect. Dee dee dee. Dee 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 dee. Right, you come out. Oh, there is only one hole. Oh, there is only. Oh, I've just dropped it now as well. Oh, brilliant. Right, let me find that piece of metal. There it is. There's 2 holes in the piece of metal, and I thought it was for 2 screws, but there's a little nub on one side and a screw on the other, so I need 1 screw. There you go. That will teach your Fox to read the actual instructions. Right, you get back in. Right, you get back in there. You, 1/2 of the ear. Your sister, 1/2 of the ear. Nobody gets that joke, but I do. It's not a joke, it's a reference, but never mind. Right, so there's only 1 screw. Which doesn't go all the way in, so it keeps spinning. That's fine. So that's a QN screw. We'll put the screws down there out of the way. I need to gently blow my nose because we have a nose situation. So if he passes Bob into the homemade dark chocolate muffin, there you go. Cheers muchly, he says. All is right with the Bobs. Now, this needs to be assemblated. Okay, this looks actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be. I said that now, I've used those words, haven't I, which never bodes well. I'm going to quickly just give the... It's a bit pointless doing it now, I know, but while I can access it very easily, I'm going to give the inside window a bit of a dust. I'm leaving the little window closed because it's going to be closed anyway. Otherwise there'll be a dust trap. So I'll leave that closed. I'll roll my little towel up because I didn't think about that properly. I've just realised there's a big food stain right down the front of my t-shirt. I'm such for scruff. When I had my dinner last night. Right. Now, let's do so we need to get the wire through here. The wire, you see, goes through here, like that, you see. Lovely hair on my window. Fantastic. Go off. That goes through... Where did it go through? It goes through there. Just about fits. So he goes through there, like that, you see. Oh, the sticker doesn't, though. Oh, bum. I'll have to squish this down, aren't I? Oh. Give me a hole that's not quite big enough for the sticker that tells me which wire it is. That's not well thought out, is it? Come on now. Eagle Moss, who you used to be. If you're not aware of the history of this part work, it's a not particularly interesting story, but I'll tell you anyway, because you've got no choice, because you're a captive audience. You're not really. It was originally released by Eagle Moss, although it possibly could have been released by somebody else, because these part works tend to do the rounds. They do tend to kind of reappear a lot in places. This going like that. So it was originally launched by Eagle Moss. I'm not convinced that's in. And then Eagle Moss went kaput and out of business, sadly. Okay, I can see that. That's in. I need a torch. And hang on, I've got to put a torch in my mouth. So yeah, D'Agostini bought all the remaining stock of these from Eagle Moss and released it under their Fanhome brand, which is the licensed partworks type stuff. Okay, that didn't do anything. So he's put 2 screws in there, and they are 2 QM screws, which I should have got out of the bag before I got my hand stuck underneath. Well done, Foxx. Righty then, so let us now somehow. I've got 1 screw out. I can do that one, sort of, just to get it in. Yes, they re-released it. Well, the thing with these partworks is, I've not looked into it that much more further, in that much more detail. But sometimes it'll be released, you know, but there'll be like Ixos might release them, or one of the other partwork companies, and then it'll be like an associate for D'Agostini, so they'll release it, and then Diag will get it, and you'll see them do the rounds. It's like there's a lot of D'Agostini model space partworks that have turned up on Agora models, but that's because the guy that set up D'Agostini model space then left to set up Agora and bought the licenses to those partworks, so things like the Bismarck and stuff will appear on there. Okay, that screw's not going in all the way, so I'm just going to try a different screw. Probably won't make a difference, but we'll give it a try anyway. We looking and sounding okay, folks? I'm hearing some hum from somewhere. Let me just put this screw in and I'll check where that hum is coming from. Okay, that screw's not actually locking into place, but it might just be one of those screws. Oops, clunk. I think it's seated in there. Okay, yeah, it looks like it is. All looks good. Just checking. The screw wasn't like going in and locking into place, it was just spinning freely, but that's not always a bad thing. It's not on this door anyway. Right, that's those 2 screws in. Then we need to screw in the hydraulical arms. Morning Fox, says Earl D. Earl D's in. Welcome Earl D. Hello, hello, hello. Already today I've bent and glued a photo etch thingy bob. I might do more later. Feeling brave. Haunted Railway 1820 Jake is in. Hi Fox and Festa. Welcome, welcome. Haunted Railway 1820 brackets Jake brackets. It's Groundhog Day, says Sophie Loves RC. Earl D says morning Fox. Bobbins says already today I've bent and glued a photo etch thingy bob. I might do more later. Feeling brave. And Sophie says it's Groundhog Day. Earl D says morning. I'm going to stop now. So do we know, was Punxsutawney Phil seen his shadow or not seen his shadow? I can't remember which way around it's supposed to go. Right, so now I need to attach the hydromelonicals. See if I can do this so you can see it. Okay, so that goes in there. The hydraulical thing, I'm going to have to turn it around so I can do it. It's all very well you seeing it, but if I can't do it, that kind of kiboshes it, doesn't it? So let's turn this around. I'll be building a door in a minute, so I might bring the camera in. I need a QN screw. Touch of oil, because it's going into metal. We line up my bits. Matron, matron, Now this is going to be fiddly, because I can see it being fiddly, basically. I've got to get this open enough that the piston can line up with the hole for the screw and keep it in place. And it's about there. I've got to hold the door in place and the piston with one hand and do grown-up screwing with my other hand. Oh, there you go, it's easy. No problem. It's not a problem. This goes in all the way, screwing firmly now. I think all of these screws are designed not to go in all the way because they just don't. So that sits there and completely doesn't hold the door open. Kick ass, look at that. It just doesn't actually hold the door open. Have I got it in the wrong place? No. Well, there you go. Hydraulic piston had one job and fails miserably at it, but never mind. Not that I'm going to display it with the doors open. Well, there you go. Let's not display that with the doors open then, shall we? Or that door open. I thought that piston was tight, but it seemed... I mean, I know you can lubricate things to make them work smoother, but can you unlubricate things to make them stiffer? Is that a thing you can do? Ah, well. Ah, well, not to worry. It's fine. I'm not going to display it with the doors open anyway, so... and that concludes issue 70. One side. I'm going to make an educated guess that issue 71 is building the other door. Let's have a look. I want to be a door... Yes, so I can move this out of the way. It's hard to pick up now when you've got one hand hold. Trouble with stiffness, dear. Yes, my stiffness is not satisfactory. Vesta distracts Foxx and pinches his muffin. Oh, you tart. QM, nearly said that. QM screw. Vesta spitting his... Hello. I get a feeling that should have gone somewhere. Hang on. I hate when this happens. Oh. Apparently that piece came out of that pack. It's not listed in here. That's interesting. I don't know what that piece was for, but it's not supposed to be with this issue. Ooh. It's supposed to be with issue 71. No. That's interesting then, isn't it? It's just a piece of packing. Check issue 69, nice round number. No, it's not part of that pack either. In that case, they've given me a bizarrely random and very specific piece of plastic that doesn't seem to have a purpose or actually exist. I'm just double checking, but it's not in there. Huh. How very strange. How very, very peculiar. It's not even mentioned. That's weird. I mean, I've come across missing parts before, but not just random stuff that's not even supposed to exist. Oh well, never mind. I'll keep it safe in my... I can't because it won't fit. Curses. I'll keep it safe somewhere. Put this down there. I have no idea what that part was. We may never know. It holds the door up. No, it's not even mentioned in the magazine. It's just not even... Nothing. Not even in the list. Well, we'll keep it there. Easy to put in if it's supposed to have gone somewhere. What's next? Freebie, says Festa. it's an awesome freebie. No, to Festa, that's agreeable. That's something you can use on a vehicle. Okay, so we're building our door. I'm not making that test again. Let's move in nice and close and personable. Let's make sure we're in focus as well. Oh, NM screw. Hang on. Are we in focusing? So let's just double check. Focus. Focus, man, focus. There we go. There we go. NM screw goes in there. Get one of these. If you do the part work, get some of these. They're like a penny on Amazon. Just get them. Trust me. Trust me. You'll thank your Uncle Fox. Let's make sure we're focused. Yes, I don't know what it is, this camera. There we go. Overexposed. La 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 la. I mean, since I started using LG Hub, it's brilliant, but it's not as flexible with exposure. Everything seems overexposed all the time. Or underexposed. Right. Let's get these out. Where's the knife? There it is. Thankfully, the door building scenario is actually quite easy. Not complicated at all. I found these kits sometimes put parts in that end up being used later in the build. Yeah, they do, but they normally say, like, you know, take this piece and put it safely away. But it doesn't even show this on the list of parts. So, which makes me think it's just like packing or something that just got in there by mistake. Maybe it's a part that's supposed to be in a future issue and just got in there by mistake. You never know. You never know. Right, so we have many, many parts, Mahoney. Too much exposure will get you arrested. I know, I've already got the ASBOs and stuff. Make sure all the bits. Keep control of your bits. Know where your bits are at all times. AP we've got. JP we haven't got. That's a bag. And KP crisps. KP crisps also we keep in a bag, I think. I haven't got enough slots for all the different types of screws, you see, so if you do get yourself one of these, just make sure you get on with a few more slots. I only had this or one that's about 3 foot long, and I'm like, I'm not going to use the 3 foot long. Right, so JP, KP we need to keep in the bag. Although I do have already bags of them already, so that's KP. I like to, because I'm a bit rubbish, if I don't organise things now, then I'm just going to have sadness. So it may be a bit silly that I do this as I go along. I like to keep things organised now so I don't get confused later. Of course, I get very easily confused. Right. So first of all, we need JP screws. We will need 2 JP screws. That's 1 screw and another screw. Yes. You watch me be too close in now and you can't see anything. Too much. Oh, we've done that one. Chris at Gross Model Gaming is in. He says, hello, visiting while I can. Hey, Chris, big hugs to you, matey. Thank you for popping by, stopping by and dropping by. Other verbs or nouns or whatever the words are. What's an adverb? I don't know what an adverb is. What's an adverb? I didn't learn a lot at school. Even now, 53 years of age, I sometimes have to remind myself that a verb is a doing word. A verb, doing word, that's the one. Yes, I am that rubbish. I was good at writing stories and stuff like that, but I wasn't good at actually understanding the mechanics of English. I could write a mean story like nobody's business, but you know. Things like verbs, adverbs, adjectives, past participles, pluperfect participles, all that kind of rubbish, no. I was 46 when I discovered what a dangling participle was. That was halcyon days, that was. I still don't know what a dangling participle is. It just sounds rude, and that's why I found it amusing. I kind of grew up like understanding the language, but without understanding the language, if that makes sense. Whereas in maths, I don't even understand maths in any sense of the word maths. Language. I'm putting oil on these. There's a plastic screw, you fool. Don't need oil. Next we need the big dongler, and that goes... Big dongler. So what's everybody up to today then? It is Munden's Day. I'm assuming, aside from Chris, that you're all lucky enough not to be at work. What are you all planning for today, apart from obviously watching this nonsense? My plan for today is do this, and then get Mama Wolf sorted out, because I do this before I get her up. And then the rest of the day, the world is my oyster. I'm playing the Xbox, bit of Xbox time. Or something else, I don't know yet. I am hoping to make these a daily show, as I've said before, as best I can. Obviously there'll be some days when I can't. Do these one at a time. Off centre and centered. That's off centre. Interestingly, by the way, as I've noticed in this mag, if you're doing this partwork, in both of the door issues, they show you these two plastic parts and they say off centre and centered. Now, in each of the door issues, you do get a centered one and you get an off centered one. However, don't get confused, they've got the images the wrong way around. So in this image, the off centered one has the peg on the left hand side. The peg is actually on the right hand side, if you'll see it there. In the other issue, it showed the peg on the right hand side and the peg was on the left hand side. They do fit, it's just they've got these two images on in the magazines the wrong way around. And that's the one thing I have found with these Eagle Moss ones. With D'Agostini slash, ones, they sometimes the part might be wrong. With these Eagle Moss ones, it seems that sometimes it's just the artwork is wrong. So they did a test run, and then once they'd updated stuff and made some changes, they didn't update the artwork. So yeah, don't panic. Don't get panicky if things don't quite line up. Right, so that's the centered one. Many. Bap. It is. It does give you pause every now and then. You go, oh, wait, what? Hang on, and you have to sort of think what you're doing. But it's generally ended up being the picture that's wrong. And that's just because they change the designs as they go along. They'll do all the CAD work and stuff, and then when they manufacture it, and they do the test shots and send them out to people, and then they send them back, and they get the subscriptions, and they'll be like, oh, we'll just change some bits and bobs. Like the engine block in this one is the manual transmission, I think. But the artwork in the book shows the automatic transmission. And I think the original release of this had it's like the transmission basically changed between the original release. We've got a screw there and they're both stuck together. Because I think they did the original release and then somebody said that's not the correct transmission. The filming car was manual or automatic or whatever, and they did the wrong transmission. So they basically redid that and changed it. But the artwork was never updated. So when you're building the transmission, it doesn't bear any relation at all to the actual parts in your hand. But it's fine. You figure it out. Because you have people like me telling you that. I put all on plastic screw again, didn't I? Oh well, never mind. But I have to admit, I do like this Eagle Moss thing of using CAD drawings, like ambient occlusion maps almost, as opposed to D'Agostini's photographs. If you don't know, by the way, Fanhome is part of D'Agostini. Because they're often a lot clearer. The red one. Is that the red one? That's the red one, yes. No, that's the orange one, you fool. They're often a lot clearer and easier to understand than a photograph of some big derpy hand. Hand of the gods. Goes on that, like that. Do you see? Oh, we're now an AP screw. Making me jump around between the screws here, aren't you? I don't know. Well, I seem to remember using the wrong screw on the last door, and it was all fine. Everything was fine. We're all fine here now. How are you? We can't tell from the camera angle, but Fox might be wearing that awful mankini. It has long gone and been burned and destroyed. That That's better, says Chris. Yeah. I'll have to pull the camera back out again though when I do bigger things, smaller things. And after all that, I end up sitting doing it off camera anyway because I'm a spoon. Spoon. What are you all up to today anyway then, folks? What are your plans? What are your plans for the day? What are you having for your lunch? I don't know what I'm having for my lunch. Probably nothing. I don't tend to do lunch. No. Wow, when they painted that, I don't know if it'll come out on camera. When they painted this, it was awfully dusty. God, it's got skin like a 15-year-old. Lumps and bumps, and yeah, it was a bit dusty in the warehouse when they made that. Lots of little lumps. Although it kind of looks like when you're wet sanding an actual car, and you kind of get all the little nibs and pop up things, and you stand them back and you take the tops off, and you get like the fish eyes and stuff. No, doesn't matter. Right, so last one is the orange. Oops. Do it the right way around, you spond. Which is the right way around? I'm not even sure. This way, that way. Hop-pa this away, hop-pa that away. Oh God, that was thinking of a number with Johnny Ball, wasn't it? I think. Or was it? Was it something else? I don't know. It was one of his maths programs. That's the thing, right? I hated maths with an absolute passion. But I love Johnny Ball. Johnny Ball's brilliant. If my maths teacher had been Johnny Ball, I would have been Marcus de Sotoy by now. I would have been literally, you know, maths expert. I've got an itch right on me in my nose. Marcus, is that the right guy I'm thinking of? Marcus de Sotoy? That's not even gone in properly. Come on now, which is the right way around for you? Not that way. Maybe that way. Doesn't seem to be. There we go. No, we don't. Yes, we do. There it is. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. What screw do I need for that? I'm holding it in place. KP screw. Of course I need a KP screw, not the AP screws I've already got out. Of course I need to go back to a KP screw. Yeah, my maths teacher had been Johnny Ball. Then again, it's like saying, if my art teacher had been Tony Hart, well, I wouldn't have learned to do a lot, really. Because Tony Hart had a very simple style. I would have learned how to make collages. Then again, in the 1980s, collage was the thing, you see. Yeah, a lot of your art college students. Collage. Never held much truck with collage. Right, that's them. In. Orange, orange and red. Guarantees I've got the other ones in the other door the wrong way around. Hop, this away. Hop, Right, now we get to make the seatbelty thing. And this is where I got it wrong last time. Because I got it the wrong way around. This goes in there like that. And then this sits in there like that. So I need to make sure it hangs down, downways. Which is, what actually says there, rounded corners, to make sure you do it the right way around. Which I didn't the first time because I'm dingus. So we need to, now it's not exactly clear on the picture, but when you get these straps, there's the two sides where they're just glued together, like that, where it's square, and then you get the rounded end, and you have to get the little hook thing on the flat glued end, if you can. Got to get the right way around. I need it to be the other way around. There we go. It needs to be like that against the flat end. It doesn't go all the way to the end, it stops about there. Then what you do is, I actually enjoyed this bit, it's kind of fun. Take that thread it through there, and then with your twizzlers, be very, very careful. You don't want these two ends to separate. Trust me, I've had enough nonsense with fabrics in this build. And then you fold them over and you feed it through the D loop, the D hoop, which is rotated round already. A little bit tricky, but it's not too hard. You can coordinate all your hand bits. I've got that tune in my head, and hapa this away. I don't remember any more than that little bit. Hapa this away, my oh my. I don't know what the hell that's got to do with maths or anything. Maybe it wasn't even think of a number, it was something. There we go, pull that through, and then you've got that then. There's the pull thing for the door, and it should be the wrong way round. Yes, it's the wrong way round. Yes, still got it wrong. So it's back to front basically, so we'll take that off. Oh no, actually, well, it's kind of the right way round, but it looks rubbish because it's got this bit here. So I think what we'll do is, it is the right way around, but we'll flip it over so that bit's on the inside, because that looks a bit pants to me. Pants! So we have to think in 3 dimensionals. Which means you need to go... how do I do this now? Oh, I've got to think in 3D now. How is this going to go? My brain's not working. So it needs to go there, which is going to be that way around. I think that's the way it's going to have to be, isn't it? And that's the way it's going to be. Huh. I think. My brain now is unable to think in 3 dimensions. Can't really do it the other way around, can I don't think. Brain. That is the right way. Try again. Okay, so I'm just doing it wrong somehow. Loop back there. I like to loop it. So, under there. Rabbit goes round the thing and under the thing with the thing and the other thing. I don't know. It's one of those things where you kind of know what you think you need to do, but when you actually try to think about the specifics of it, your brain goes, nah, I'm out of here, mate. And thinking in 3 dimensions can be like that sometimes. I'm usually good with like spatial puzzles and stuff like that. Things like that I'm quite good with, but not this time. And it says pull it back. It looks a bit monkey. Let's just check the other door. What did I do on the other door? Oh, the other door has actually fallen apart completely. Somehow come out. I need to fix that later then. That. Somehow my looping failed miserably on the other door. That just doesn't seem right. It does not seem correct. I want it to be that way, which looks much better. Tell you what, I know what we can do. It's because it's early and I've not even had 1 cup of coffee yet. Let's do it. It's going to be that way. So we want it. Brain. Braining is hard. Staying on camera is hard. Johnny Ball's in my brain, distracting it in ways it shouldn't be distracted. Right, so that's going to be like that. So I want it to be the other way around, which is that way, I think. What I need to do is have that go through there. Excuse me. Take a leak off. Boom. That needs to thread through there. Like that, you'll see. This is going to be absolutely brilliant because it's completely not going to work. But in my brain thinks it's being clever. That's never a good sign. Let's just be honest here. It's never a good sign. Especially when your little D loop is the wrong way around. Turn around. There we go. Right, you go through there and you come back out again. I like to thread it. Now what we need to do is straighten that out. Feed the little fellow through there. That's better. That's Tetley. Much better. And hopefully that's the right round, for the love of baby Jeebus. Yes. There we go. That's much better. Looks much neater that way without this flappy bit on the back. So that needs to go in there. 2 AP screws. I'll get the other one on the other door. I'm going to have to pop it out, I think, and I'll do that. I could do it now, actually, but no point farting about, really, is there? Oops. Oh no, I can't pop that bit out because it's got screws from the back. Oh, fudge. And I can't take the whole panel off the door because it's clipped into place with some really grippy little holes. That's that way. That is that bit on. There we go. Much better, you see? It's much better than the way it's supposed to go on. Let me get the body frame back and we'll see if we can fix the other one. What a palaver. Or some other kind of sweater-based clothing. Maybe there'll be a wibble soon. No. Hugh Gordon says, slowly losing the will to live. He's forcing you to watch, dude. I found... Oh, we've done that one. Awful. That was a very thoughtful gift, says Chris at Gross Models. Thoughtful. I know certain thoughts went into it. Thoughtful. I don't know. Right, I need to lock this in place somehow with something. Because I need to thread this through now. I'm going to have to lock it in place with like my head or something like that. There's nothing heavy I can put my iPad behind it, I suppose. Nope. It's going to give me no sufficient something. Ooh, it might work. Right. We're not even on camera. Oh, there we go. Probably out of focus again. Right, so we need to get this strap back in again. Not quite sure how or why it came out, but never mind. So we need to look at this one and use our thinking brain. So this straight bit needs to be at the back, so that bit needs to thread out through the top. And this is tricky because I can't get this. I could take this whole panel out, but I don't think it actually comes out once it's in, because it kind of snaps into place and then screw it in. Papa, this will get out of my head. Johnny Ball. Curse you. Somebody remind me in chat which program that was. It wasn't Think of a Number, I don't think. It might. Was it Whizbit? What the hell was Whizbit? Was that Johnny Ball? I hope it was, because I've been working on the assumption that it's Johnny Ball that's to blame for all this. Was it Whizbit? What the hell was Whizbit? Please tell me that wasn't Paul Daniels. Oh God, wasn't it Paul Daniels' children's program, was there? Oh dear God. Don't tell me Paul Daniels is in my head. Right, this is tricky now because I can't quite get to go through the loop. because I'm at the wrong angle. I've got the wrong angle of the dangle. Oh no, nearly. Stay on target, stay on target. Switch all power to front, deflector screen. Switch all power to front, deflector screen. I need like 2 pairs of tweezers and 4 hands. Come on. If I can get the tweezers through the hoop, you probably can't see any of this. Nope. It's difficult because to get the loopy bit to feed through because it's kind of bulbous. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Little bit. No, almost. Yes, huge success, I think. Yes, huge success. There we go. There she is. That's that one fixed. Happy days. Right, let's get this away again. Over there. It's hardly anything to hold on to on that now. Right. Whizbit was indeed Paul Daniels. Hey, when's the X-Ring stream, says Chris. That's done now. That's on display, that is. Ain't not doing no more X-Ring, nor out, nor nothing neither. Hello, Hugh Gordon, by the way. Welcome. So, where's my magazine? I'll put this back. See, look, you're all on telly. Look, see, you're all on telly now. You're all famous. Not really famous. So that goes on there. You just put this piece of venting. Goes into there like that. You see? Do it the other way, Fox. You can see where the screws actually go then, can't you? There we go. Goes into there with 2 AP screws. That's one screw. Another screw. Do tell me if I'm out of focus. I'm just going to check some effect. One sec. I can hear. I hear like a speaker hum. You know, like when you get mains hum through a speaker. I don't know what it is. Could be something outside. Dee 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 dee. Goes in there. Do feel free to give me things to talk about, folks, in chat, because Lord knows I've got nothing to talk about of any import. Of any great import. Right. And then, this is how your assemblies should look at the completion of this stage. Wait, why am I not putting that bit on the door? It's all about restoring the time machine. He did a documentary about restoring the time machine. Why was it not restored? Why was it allowed to go spongy? That seems not correct. Anyway, let's put that to one side. It makes me laugh, you know, that in the 80s and stuff, when they had these films, all these like props, like these cars and stuff, iconic vehicles and things like that, or, you know, enormous models of spaceships and stuff from movies, and they were just like either taken out the back and destroyed, or just abandoned and left to rot, like the DeLorean. Nowadays, they wouldn't even think about doing that. Nowadays, they'd be like, no, that needs to go on all the travelling exhibitions and then go to Disney World or wherever, or the Universal theme parks or whatever. They wouldn't even think about doing that nowadays. But back in them days, when I was a lad, it was great. Just threw stuff away. Right. So that's them. Oh, we need to open a new box. Woo! Open the box, open the box, open the box. Open the box, boom. Magazinings. Invoice, don't need to see that. Many packs of things. Many packs of things. That's more than 5. That feels like a lot more than 5. And then an empty box. Time are we on? 10 past 12. Infamous in some cases, Wolf, says Hugh Gordon. Aye. Infamous. 74, 73, 72. Well, they get me all the orders in the wrong order. Issues even. Right, so we want issue 72, number 73. You see what I did there? So that's going to be... Ooh! Look at this. What's this? Yeah. Don't know what that is. That is, we had to get some stock from one of the other warehouses. There's that bit again, that plastic bit, that seemed to have no purpose. But it's in that door as well. That's strange. Oh, do I want 72? I want down to 72. There we go, 72. Oops. Right, so let's get these opened. We ought to make the interior bits of the door and the window pops. Window pops. Okay. For some reason I've got the announcer. Well, it's a helicopter. I can hear it. Announcement system voice from the Black Mesa facility in my head. I don't know why. I haven't played Black Mesa for a while. All scientists to evacuation. Entrance. Something. Access denied. Access denied. It's a great voice. If you've got the remaster of Half-Life if you've got the remastered Half-Life known as Black Mesa, which was a fan-made remaster in the Source engine, do yourself a favour and just get the mod that restores the original announcement system voice, because they replaced it with this sort of generic voice that doesn't really work at all. They got rid of the iconic sort of deep gravelly voice from the announcement system. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never played Half-Life, then none of this means anything at all to you. And God bless you and all who's selling you. HP. We've got HP, so we'll get that one out. Black Mesa announcement system now under military control. I can't do it very well. I haven't got a deep enough voice to replicate it. Add lights and a window to the door of your DeLorean. Have to go now. Have fun, chum. See you again this evening, says Bobbins. Take care, Bobbins. Thank you for coming in. Very kind of you to stop by. A lovely fellow. Lovely, lovely fellow. Right, so we need to do wiring now. Stand by your beds. It's wiring time. So, push the yellow lamp at the end of cable 72F into the socket shown behind the orange lens. I like the word lens. It sounds slightly rude. Lens. Sounds like a rude part of your body. Oh, it kicked me in the lens. Now, that's not very firmly attached there. It should stay in, but... YMMV, your mileage may vary. Bend the little bits down so this doesn't catch on the screw. Once then we have, we're missing the mid, oh no, it's there. The red light. What's, red light. The last one is the red light that goes into the end there. Pushing, pushing. Are we even focused? I hope we're in focus. Hard for me to tell because I'm looking through glasses with, you know, it's not always apparently obvious. Get something with text on it. Not much text. Okay, never mind. Near enough. Do let me know if it's horribly out of focus. I can adjust it. That needs to go under there. Fox, not over there. Over there. Under there. Wombling free. That needs to go in there. And then that goes up into the stratosphere. Like this, you'll see. That goes through the door frame there. Oh, I whistled then. And then you need to make yourself aware of this area. Bam, 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 bam. Put in the little flange. Flange, you say? Flange. With an AP screw. An AP screw, yes. Our old friend, the AP screw. Of which we have many, many. There'll always be like one screw that you have like 8 billion of that you never run out of. That's why you never throw them away. Gentlemen, maintain your screws. This needs to go over there. Hold this wire in place. If I can get it in. Set the bishop to the actress. Super match game. Oh, now my screws come off my screwdriver. Gosh darn it. I'm there. I'm trying to think of something to talk about because I'm busy doing the thinking and the building, and the thing's going to pop out now, isn't it? Yes. Oh, flange. Oh, I know what I did last time. I taped it down, didn't I? So it wasn't a pain in the bum. Hang on, let me get some tape. And it does not become a pain in the bottom then, you see. If I taperate it into place, it will comply. There. Nope. Yes. Nope. Sticking. I use the power of sticking. It's not sticking. Tape's gone funky. Got tape stuck on me. Oh, it sticks to my finger. Do you know? Can't get the staff. It's suddenly gone very warm. Started the day and it was really quite chilly this morning. Got up and it's like, well, I'll put the heating on for a little bit, you know, for downstairs to warm things up for Mama Wolf when she gets up. And now it's like, whoo, little bit sweaty. Little bit sweaty, Betty. Right, come on, stick tape. You've got one job, and that is to stick. I don't know. Nope, it doesn't want to do that at all, does it? Come on now. Stick into my finger. Why are you not sticking to the things? I'm sticking you to. Come on now. Just stick there for a second. There you go. Good lad. A fiddly tight little corner, you see, so spot on. You go in there very gently into the hole, and away you go. Excellent. I'm getting that bass from somewhere. Huh. Well, it's not been picked up on the audio, so as long as that's the case, I'm not fussed. Right, so that's that wire in place. We have to make this bring your cogwheels. The one, the only, the inimitable, the indefatigable, the irreversible, the irresponsible, the implacable, the in-betweenable, the invisible, the individual. I'm running out of I words now. It is our very own Carl Sagan. Jeff Candygram for Mongo is in the chat. He says, hi, gurufoxx, Bobbins, Chris, Hugh Fester, and all in chat. And of course, as is the law, he must now have the Carl Sagan quote, because he is our very own Carl Sagan. Also, he's a host on KBLB radio in Wisconsin, apparently. I had it lined up. Dee-dee-dee-dee. St. Anselm argued that since we can imagine a perfect being, he must exist, because he would not be perfect without the added perfection of existence. This so-called ontological argument was more or less promptly attacked on 2 grounds. Can we imagine a completely perfect being? 2. Is it obvious that perfection is augmented by existence? To the modern ear, such pious arguments seem to be about words and definitions, rather than about external reality. That wasn't the quote I was going to do, but I suddenly couldn't find it, so that's the quote you got. I need to blow my nose again. 1 second, kids. There you go, that's better. Yes, hi Jeff, welcome, thank you for coming along. Also, the inflammable, those who watch Gross Models gaming live streams on Saturdays will know. I did say inflammable the day, didn't I? Yes. Or even inflammable, if I actually pronounced the word correctly. Did you get inflammed? Were you playing a co-op game and Chris accidentally pointed a fiery device at you by any chance? Is that what we are to infer here? I am inferring. Infer the devil out of it. Right, this needs to go in here. Now, because this is an electric window, you just get this, like, little cog mechanism that's just all manual. And you have to, it looks like you're going to have to pull the window up and down yourself, but it's a bit stiff once it's all assembled. I'm just leaving mine in place. Oh. I'm not going to do that. Like I said before, it's more just of a dust trap. Have that little bit of a window open, the inside gets dusty, and then you've got to somehow get in there and dust it. No, that's not happening. Not that my doors stay open either anyway, so. We have the little one at the bottom. Always a little one at the bottom. But the brain does much more than just recollect. It analyzes, it synthesizes, it generates abstractions. The simplest thought, like the concept of the number 1, has an elaborate logical underpinning. The brain has its own method for testing the structure and consistency of the world. It's kind of scary that I can remember saying quotes off the top of my head. I'm assuming these are all HP. Yes. HP screws make everything taste better. If you're in the US or not UK or Canada or somewhere and you've never had HP sauce and you can get it, try it. Stick it on your hot dog. Oh, yeah, it's very nice. So we've got the spinnies. That's the music from Storybox. No one will recognise that apart from a handful of you. And now is the funny bit where it says install this, which just sits there and says, right, now put that somewhere safe. Great, thanks. I'll just completely store that somewhere safe then, shall I? Yes, right, so we'll put these screws away. Go for the next issue. Yeah, so that very creepy Storybox was like a children's educational program. It was on like ITV Schools. And it used to have this he was a lovely fella. I actually met him in real life. He was a lovely, I can't remember his name now. I went to work once with my dad and he was there. He was a lovely fella, but he was really creepy. When you see him on screen, he's like, hello. Today's story's about this. It was all like story time stuff. No. It was good stuff. Jeff says, oh, I don't need anyone else's help to set myself on fire in computer games. I always seem to find a way to do this on my own. You could set yourself on fire in Subnautica, which is all underwater. That sounds a bit like me. I could do that. Right, that's that one. That's issue 72. Which means next, it's obviously number 73. It's number 73. Come on, get ready, get out of bed. Dip, 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 dip. Yeah, I used to love that program. There's about 3 of you out there that'll know what that even is. Und now we complete the assemblage of the door. Ja, das ist richtig. If we can find the, there we have the parts. There you see. Yeah, there's nothing nicer than getting out a big dodgy metal panel. That's how you know you're in the big times. Do, 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 do. Oh. Get flashbacks to children's it's not children's ITV, because that was a whole different thing. This is like the school television, the schools for, oh, what was it? I've got it on my little countdown clock. Television for schools and colleges, which is funny because it wasn't for college at all. It was for like primary and secondary schools. There was never any college. Well, maybe a little bit. Programs for schools and colleges. And there was some cracking stuff. There was also terrible stuff. But my favourite by far, I mean, there's things like The Way We Used to Live, Picture Box, whatever it was called, that story one that I just talked about. Things like that. I remember The Way We Used to Live. But my favourite by far, remembered by many and spoofed by that guy whose name I can't remember, who went on to play the Tick. Peter Serafinowicz, that's it. Was a program called Experiment, and I've actually spoofed it myself at one point. In one of my the video where I taught you how to transfer videos from an iPhone to a computer. That was a spoof of the program Experiment. And I've got something on my lens. Get off. An Experiment was great because it was like, it was aimed at secondary school students, and it was science, and it was basically going through a scientific procedure, like how to ascertain that such and such is soluble in water, or something like that, you know, how to ascertain the conductivity of whatever. But it was always like, it started with just the sound of an oscilloscope on an upsweep. That was it. That was just the sound. And then you would just see, like, it would always be like a pair of hands doing stuff. And you could hear, like, it was clearly recorded in silence without sound, but they added the ambience of a laboratory behind it. So you'd see, like, there'd be a thing then, say, a scoop of the chemical is taken, and you just see this close-up shot of a scoop like that, and it'd go. And then come back. The chemical is now added to the, and it just like that, and but it was very simple. And then you see like a hand turning a dial on a device or something. And the narrator who spoke over it was a guy called Jack Honeywell, I think, or something like that. I can't remember his name. Not Jack Hargreaves. He had this soft, slightly throaty voice, and it was like, he had this soft voice, and he just became iconic for these programs because the phrase that everybody remembered was "write that down," because it always used to say, "Have your copybooks and pencil ready to write down." A measurement is taken of the voltage, 1.7 volts. Write that down, and then the hand would move away. And it was more just about the silence and this quiet ambient lab sound in the background. It was great. A little ding, ding, ding of metal things on glass. I think there's only like one on YouTube I found, and that was about the locust's vision or something, and they dissect a locust. I mean, this is the 80s when they actually dissect. They got a locust with its legs pulled off, stuck on a thing. It's like, yeah, we wouldn't do that now. Yeah, Experiment. Fond times. Fond time. Right, we've got to make the door now. Shut up, Fox. We need to attach the lock barrel with an AP screw. AP screw. One of the extras you can get from Mike Lane's extras for this is actually a lock barrel with a key sticking out of it. Or you can get a separate key that goes into it, which is kind of cool. Many tiny components. Tiny components, my honey. JP's again, and M's. We'll get the thing out for them. Yes, Experiment. That was my favourite programs for schools and colleges. That's great. I don't want HP. I want JP. DM we've got. Oh, DM. And then we need. And then we've got. And then we can get out the bag. But that's where I get my countdown clock from. It was the old ITV's programs for schools and colleges. You see it before every program. And if you're at school and the teacher just couldn't be asked, was having a lazy day, perhaps he was desperate for a cigarette and wanted to go out the back and have a cigarette in the back room in the lab under the extractor fan, instead of teaching you biology or whatever for a day, he'd just roll out the old trolley with the TV and the video, and he'd put the VCR on, and he'd have like an episode, whatever it was, and it'd have that countdown thing, programs for schools and colleges, and then the program that he was going to foist on you would start. And they were great lessons, because that was like, yeah, teacher can't be bothered, and we're going to watch that program about sex again for the 7th time. It was either this one particular program about like human reproduction, or it was an episode of QED where he's driving a car through a lightning chamber and it's making all the wipers things go. And this is in biology. Why he's showing us an episode of QED that's talking about electricity, I don't know. He really couldn't be bothered that day, I think. This was the 80s. Sometimes teachers just couldn't be fussed. Right, so we need to put the door lock barrel into place. There we go, place. Oop. That was not your place. And it's an AP screw. AP screw. Yeah, when we had the sex education lessons in biology class at school, they were all very, very boring. Like, let's say there were like 7 or 8 lessons around the whole part of the curriculum about reproduction. For most of it, it was about animals rather than people. And when it got onto human reproduction, it was all very dry, very dry. And then when it got to the interesting bit, like how you actually do stuff, how does reproduction actually occur? The bit that all, horny 15-year-old students are actually interested in. Because, come on, we're all like 15 years old, 16 years old. We're all just horny teenagers. It was like, that's when he just put this video on, because right, I'll put this video on for you. It's half an hour off, and he'll go in the back room. And it was equally dry. It was like, you got a shot of a man and a woman, obviously naked. This is a man, there's one, his pointing little thing. And then you got a little bit of footage of a man getting, let's just say, a little bit excited. But it was all like an infrared camera, so you just couldn't see anything. And then there was a shot from inside. This is 19, inside the lady when things were happening. And again, not in any way exciting at all. It was like classroom, biology class full of like really bored 15-year-olds who were expecting a bit of, continental going on, and it was none of it. There was no man with a really ropey moustache. None of the videos came from behind the beaded curtain. It was the most disappointing to our 15-year-old selves. We wanted some proper, like, proper rude stuff, and now they managed to make what to us would have been a very interesting subject very not interesting. We kind of all walked out of the classroom like, was that it? It's boring, that is. Head off down the woods tonight and see if we can find a mysterious black bin bag with some magazines in it. Right, JP screws. JP. Hey, JP. JP screws. Get out of the bag. Get out of the bed. Come on now. Can't get me bits out. No. Now I've got too many. I've dropped all my bits on the table. And because it's not Fester's bench, they don't look bigger when they're on the bench. Right. I've no idea what like sex education is like nowadays. Given what kids are like now and their access to like the proms on the internet and stuff, one would assume that the real dry, if you pardon the expression, stiff, boring programs we had to watch. And it was funny the way that it's like, you know, the teacher would talk to us about all the way through it, apart from that one step where he would just play the video and go off into that room for a cigarette. We'd be left to it. And they'd be like, right, did you get all that? Yes. Okay, brilliant. Right, off you go. Next lesson. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what kids nowadays will get though, because they just that wouldn't even. I mean, it bored us then in the '80s, in the mid '80s. We were like, you know, horny 15-year-olds. God knows what kids nowadays would expect. I can just imagine nowadays it'd be all flashy nonsense and like quick 3-second cuts every cutaways every second and lots of bouncing graphics and nonsense. It'd be really annoying. The only way you're going to teach kids about the facts of life at that age is give them what they want, which is basically prawns. Come on. I mean, nowadays, by that point, they've seen everything anyway. They're teaching you, so. I wonder what it's like being a kid nowadays. I wonder what it's like being like growing up as a teenager. Well, as a kid and then a teenager in today's world. Obviously I've got no idea because I'm 54, but 53 or something. But it's like, I wonder what it's like growing up like from birth with an internet and the good video games and stuff. It must be, I mean, to someone my age, like the youth of today, and this is the thing I hate, right? Because when you're young, you look at old people going, oh, the youth of today, and you're like, yeah, I'll never get like that because I'll always be hip and cool and in with the trends. And of course, you look at kids now with their TikTok and their slang and their nonsense, and you're like, I haven't got a clue what anybody's talking about. I don't understand any of that. I tried doing Twitch. I tried streaming on Twitch once. I couldn't even get my head around that. And that's just Twitch. I need to blow my nose. One sec. It was like, I started the stream and 8,000 different things happened in the chat. And there's like 15 different currencies. And I'm like, I don't understand what any of this is actually. That just made no sense. Phil Bolton's in, says, morning all, just thought I'd say hi, sitting here working on an old Airfix Hawker Fury kit with the show on the background. Thank you very much for coming in, Phil. Because what else would I be doing at 4:30 in the AM? Where are you? I thought you were in the UK. Christopher C is in, says, good morning all. Good morning, Christopher. Thank you for coming in. Welcome. Made me laugh. I'd left school at 15, says Hugh. Only takes 3 seconds anyway. That's true. Bobbins, I think I read this earlier, says have to go now. Oh, yeah, I did. You'll see us in the evening. Right. So we have to add 2 little hingy things and 2 AM screws. Have we done AM screws yet? No, not yet. Get your screws out. I can get these into a little pot. Fester's paint pot things are making a good appearance as screw holders. Get out of the bag. There you go. Screw receptacle. Receptacle. I like that word. Receptacle. Right, we've got to pull in these hinge plates. Do. Hinge plate. And of course the hinge goes on the top of the door, not the bottom of the door, which is the unintuitive bit. Hey, I didn't need that screwdriver. Thanks. What do I need? AM screws. AM screws? AM screws, yeah. Do. Touch of oil to make it go easier. That's AP, don't want that one. AM. Yeah, I wonder what it's like to be a kid nowadays. I mean, of course, the thing is, like, we look at the stuff that kids do now and the things they're into and TikTok and stuff. It's like, it's just all fast and like super fast and short bursts of information, and it must be, I can't imagine what it's like to live in a life where everything's like bam 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 bam, bam all the time, because when we were kids it wasn't like that. I mean, we just had the very start of the MTV kind of era when I was like in my late teens, early teens, late teens, and that was the start of the fast-paced bam bam bam. And even that, by today's standards, kids would find that slow and tedious. So what it's like today, when it literally is tick 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 tick, you know, bang bang bang, different thing, different thing, different thing, no idea. It's bad now, you know you're old when somebody posts a meme and you don't get that. You're like, what? Somebody posted something the other day on Twitter. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Twitter. And I refuse to call it X. And it was basically, they made a comment about something, and then there was a completely unrelated picture. And I just could not even begin to imagine how, in any way, shape or form, the picture was any kind of me. It was a still image. I can't remember what it was now, but it was like, I don't get what that picture's about. It made no sense. It's getting old. Don't want to be old. I don't mind being old, I just don't want to be out of the loop. I want to know what everything is and how everything works. That's the secret, you see. You don't want to be... I'm not going to start wearing things from Burton's. Come on, it's not happening. I don't even know if Burton's exists anymore, actually. Does Burton's even exist anymore? Right, get the window screwed in. Carefully, I don't want to slip and scratch my window. Also need a slightly bigger screwdriver. Ever so slightly bigger. Not that one, because that one's massive and is obviously significantly bigger. Apologies if you hear it banging, I'm knocking the boom arm that the microphone is on. And not the most... Oh, I've dropped my screw. Where's it gone? There it is. Oh, it's gone. No. It's not the most magnetic of screwdrivers, I was about to say, as it fell off the screwdriver and disappeared forever. This one is a bit better. It's like watching Fortnite. People play Fortnite. I can't even keep track of what's going on screen, let alone... Or even people playing like Call of Duty and stuff, playing COD. It's like... I couldn't cope with that. I'm a dab hand at first person stuff, but I couldn't cope with things like Fortnite. That's no idea. When you're watching somebody play a game and you can't even tell what the hell's going on, it's like, I wouldn't have a chance for us actually playing it. Right, so that's that door bit assembled. Yes. I was brought up on a farm, knew all about it by age 6. Yeah. John Bias is in. Hey John, welcome, welcome. My wife is a school counsellor, having worked with kids from elementary to middle school. They know far, far too much for such a young age. The things we didn't even know in 4th or 5th grade are all too common behaviours. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way. It is the way of things. It's time for my... I was going to get my fluffy towel out, but I think I need a cotton bud for this. Because we're going to do the winged mirror. Which has got a little shiny bit. Mirror, but we need to screw it together first. A JP screw. How to come, little fellow. Thank you. Do. Dropping. Do. Got in the room last night. I came in this room last night. I'd been downstairs doing something. And I had the light turned off because I was out of the room for like 10 or 15 minutes. I think I was doing some washing up or something. So I turned the light out, left my computer on. And I came back upstairs. Oops, let's loosen that a bit. Came back upstairs. Before I turned the light on, I knocked the mouse and keyboard, the bit with the shelf where the mouse and keyboard are, and the screen came back to life, and there was a shape on the screen. I'm like, oh, it's a moth. There's a moth on my screen, because it's obviously a glowing thing in a dark room. So I got the glass and caught it, and it wasn't a moth, it was a ladybird. I haven't seen a ladybird in years. It was a ladybird on my monitor, just sat there chilling out. I'm like, wow, hello, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in the house. It was quite pretty, and it wasn't red and black dots. It was kind of orange and black dots. It was quite pretty. It was very large. It was very large. But yeah, I was like, oh, a ladybird, cool. So I took it outside to where there was a plant covered in aphids. It probably had a jolly good time feeding its fat face on all the aphids. So there you go, my friend. Little green things for you to nom on. There you go. Happy times. And I could hear it as I walked off. I could hear it going nom 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 nom. And I could hear the aphids going, no, I regret nothing. I could hear them all Wilhelm screaming as they jumped to their inevitable doom off the plant. I didn't really. Right, so there we go. And that is one wing mirror, which I've cleaned it now, and give it 5 minutes, it'll be covered in nonsense again. Can you actually get my face in there? I don't know, can you? That's the camera. La 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 la. I don't know what that is. Something pink. Is that part of my face? Don't even know what that's looking at. I don't know where. That'd be my arm. Don't worry, I am wearing a t-shirt. It's not anything untoward. Right, so I'm leaving that loose enough that I can fold it, because when it goes in the door I want to be able to fold it in so I don't break them off every 5 minutes when I'm fiddling with the body shell. This needs a AP screw and AP screw, not a AP screw. Dingus. Beep, 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 beep. AP screw. There we go. All ready and waiting on the driver of the screws. The screwdriver loses the screw. Yes, well done. But it's just scary because it has happened. The thing that we've all dreaded all these years is that in a lot of ways I've lost touch with the youth, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, oh, these kids, I don't understand. They rock and they roll and they're hippity hop. It's just happened, and I'm like, no, this was never supposed to happen. I was supposed to be like at least moderately vested in the knowledge of the youths. No, it's gone. Tighten that a little bit, I think. A little bit of a tighty. There you go. It's a bit. No, it's yeah. It either goes from very loose to very tight with even if you turn the screw just like a millimetre. Wow. There's no middle ground with that. Now it says, insert the interior nonsense. Put that down like that. That's why you fold it back. Insert the interior nonsense. John says, ta-ta for now, everyone. Got time to get to work. Take care, John. Thanks for popping in. Watching a video of ladybugs feeding close up is kind of terrifying. Oh, they are monsters. They are absolutely, they're gorgeous monsters. But if you were something they were going to eat, yeah, it's like an alien. Ladybugs, ladybirds, beautiful, peaceful creatures that won't harm you unless they can eat you, in which case it's basically a predator. Now we take the internals, and we have to do this in such a way that the glass bit doesn't fall out, but also sits in properly so you can move it up and down. Yes, very challenging. And you can't really see which way you're doing it. I think I got it first time there, pretty much. Pull the window up. There you go. Get that wire routed through the plastical bits. Dr. Phineas T. Bramworm dangle parts and his plasticky bits. That's on there. That fits like a glove. That window's a bit looser on that side. But it's like if you're doing this yourself, you'd have to open the door and then get your hand around it, because I don't know how it'd be tricky. And now we need 4 DM screws. Ooh, DM. 4 DM screws, and hope it all stays in place. Take 4 of these, put them in there. Need 1. You're going to give me 5 on. Ooh, the scrap metal man's coming around. I can hear him shouting through his PA system. Scrap metal. Right, I'm just going to step away for 1 second, folks, because I need to quickly do something. I shall be back in 1 moment. And we're back. Sorry about that. Right, so where was I up to? Oh yes, screwing in these parts. DM screws with the non-magnetic screwdriver. Always a winner. How's the audio and video, folks? Looking good? Sounding good? Do let me know if there's any problems, because I won't know otherwise. So I shall insert and attach the door furniture. Again, you can get mods for this that give you the proper door carpet. Sounds weird, doesn't it, having carpet on the door, but there you get door carpet. So we shall insert these. Get these screwed in. Don't know what my plan is for today. After this, my work is done for today, so maybe Xbox time. I've got stuff I need to do today. Oh, fudge. I've got things I need to do. Screwdriver's losing its magneticalness as well. That's annoying. Need to put my car in for its MOT, that's the point. I need to do that and order a prescription. It's all exciting. All excitement in the Wolf household. I'm waiting on that luggage thing kit, or frunk as I like to call it. Front trunk. The frunk is a great word, that. Whoever came up with that, brilliant. The front trunk. I'm also waiting on a new monitor to arrive. I've ordered a 1440p monitor because I've got one modern 1080p one and I've got my old 1080p one, which is kind of a bit bust and it needs to be replaced because it's very old and it's a bit crap, and I think it's got a few dead pixels in it, so it's like, yeah, I'll get a new monitor. And I figured I might as well get a 1440p one, because then what it means is I can make that my primary monitor. My modern, I've got a Philips Evnia 1080p, which is the new one I got with my new computer. That can be my second monitor. And what I'll do is, when I was doing gaming on the PC that I was going to stream, my original plan was to have, I've still got my TV, my big TV the Xbox goes into. I could just hook the computer into that through HDMI. I've got 2 display ports for the computer, and then I could play it on there, so it's big and I could put it up to 1440p because I can't really stream more than 1440p. My computer can deal with 1440p gameplay. Then I can stream that, but I was getting some issues with some games where there'd be flickering and funkiness with textures and stuff, or in Far Cry 5, if it was misty or foggy, the whole screen would kind of flick black every now and then when going through the TV. So I thought, well, that's not ideal. So I'll use a monitor. So I thought, why not I just get, if I need to get a new monitor anyway, get a 1440p one, then when I'm doing like gaming and I'm using the PC, I can just do it on that, and then it can be 1440p native. I can see everything on screen because 1080p monitors, 24-inch I've got, it's a bit small for my eyesight. I struggle a little bit, so it's not ideal for me. So 1440p one, I might do better with that. And then I can just game on that. So I figured I may as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not having to depend on the big telly, which doesn't seem to be ideal. And I get 1440p so I can see things. I want an AP screw. So that should be coming sometime this week. So hopefully, for Far Cry 5 last week, I was playing in 1080p, upscaling it in OBS to 1440p, and streaming out at 1440p 60. Which is not ideal because 1080p looked alright but a bit pants. Hopefully on Friday, when we do more Far Cry 5, it'll be native 1440p, streamed out at 1440p. So it should look a little bit better. I can't do HDR though. It's an HDR screen, but I can't stream HDR because YouTube doesn't do HDR. So I have to turn HDR off. Handy tip, if you're playing a video game and you're streaming it and your game on whatever it's being played, console or PC, has HDR, turn that off. Because if you stream HDR content to YouTube, it'll look washed out and pale because it can't do anything with the HDR. So turn HDR off. I need to make sure it's turned off in game because it's an option in the game, but I also have to turn off auto HDR on Windows when I do Far Cry 5. Right, so this is how your door assembly should look. There we go. La 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 la. All done. Again, you have to do the window manually, but I'll leave it up to prevent dust. I do like these little pull cords, they're great. Right, I need to clear my throat, 1 sec. There we go. So, yeah, so I've got that turning up as well this week. That concludes issue... Ooh, look. ZZ Top, I think. I don't know, I assume that's ZZ. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's ZZ Top. Colin knows all about ZZ Top. I don't know anything about anything. Right, that's that one. That's issue 73, number 73. So the next one, we're going to be hanging the door again, aren't we? I think what we'll do is we'll get this door hung, because we've had a couple of hours. We'll get this door hung and stuff. See where we're up to. So that's AM screws. So yeah, hopefully Friday should look a bit better. Because it'll be native 1440p's. Which my computer can just about cope with everything set to ultra, which is nice. My old computer could barely even just stream. Never mind. It could barely stream stuff like this, but never mind streaming actual games. I'm playing them at the same time. That was never going to happen. Oh, I've got exploding screws here. Right, so we've got DM, which I've got a slot for. I think. Have I? Yes. I know it's very boring me doing this, but it's an important part of the process for me. Because you know me, I'm so easily distracted that I'll just end up with screws all over the place and not know what anything is. PM, I haven't got. JP, KP, they haven't got those. I wish I'd got a thing with more slots, or I wish they'd just used less screws. That would have been good. Right, so I'll put them there. Oh, we still got HP as well. HP, we have not got. HP. I'm sure I'll get them out again in about 3 seconds. La, 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 la. Audio and video, A-OK, says Phil. Thank you very much. Right, swig of coffee. So next up is issue 74, number 70. No, doesn't work with number 74. This is door hangage. Door hangage, which we've done, and was fairly straightforward, if somewhat disappointing. So, not that one, but this one. There we go. I'm grateful that the little hinges on the door topper are actually pre-installed. That's good. But look again, this little plastic block, which is not listed at all in there, not even remotely mentioned. I shall keep it because you never know. Maybe it was, I thought it was maybe to hold something, but there's not anything that it would hold in place. It's not like a bit of a divider. And now look at this, right? If I peel this off, is that covered up? Why is that covered up with this sticker? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see where this is actually from. Because I think they've done the thing of getting other warehouses to send them stock. Let's have a look. I bet it's not in English. Oh no. Just a generic card. Huh. Oh, it's in Russian. Ah, I see. Let's have a look at one of the other ones. Oh, that's nice. It's come all the way from Russia. No wonder they covered it up. I've been learning the Cyrillic alphabet. Arbord Detali Avtomo. Don't know, man. Anyway, yes, so that's come from Russia. Ew. Never mind. That's why they got the big white label. Yeah, we were talking the other day, and it does seem that the thing now with partworks, I think with all the partwork companies, not just with D'Agostini, is that in the past what they do is the partwork companies will basically design a partwork, do a test pack for people to see what the interest was, and if there's enough interest, they go ahead and make it, and then they just keep it in production. And you could go back after a couple of years, like, you know, for many years you could go and get, say, the big Millennium Falcon. You could just buy it all in one go from D'Agostini. There you go, all 100 issues. Things like, oh, you could subscribe. Nowadays, I think just with the economy the way it is, and things have changed a bit, it seems that what they do is they do some basic designs, they put it out there, they gauge the interest, they get the subscriptions, and if they get enough subscriptions, they go ahead. If they don't, they've done it before with things, these partwork companies, if they don't get enough interest, they just cancel it and they refund everybody whatever they paid in advance. But I think what they're doing now is basically, we were talking about this, and general consensus was they put it out there, they gauge the interest. If there's enough, they go ahead into production, and they get all the, you know, people saying pre-subscribe now, and they make enough for those subscriptions and probably a small amount more for spares and things like that to cover people that need spares, and that's it. So as soon as they've all been done and all the subscriptions are being fulfilled, they just stop because they've only got enough to fulfill the subscriptions. That's what I think they're doing, which is a shame. It is a shame, because I noticed, like we noticed the other day, that things like this Festa's Eleanor, even the big Transformer thing, I don't know, Transformers, the big Optimus Prime, that's already out of print, and it's only just launched because they got X number of subscriptions and they fulfilled them. They're doing now for the next couple of years. So it's a bit of a shame. You have to hope that they will bring them back occasionally. I know they've resurrected R2-D2 a few times. And QM. Okay, we've got M, so we don't need the bag for that. QM we do. So yeah, so it really does seem to be at the minute. That's the way it works because the way the economy is. So I'd say if you see a part work that tickles your fancy, you think, oh, I fancy a go with that, subscribe to it because you might not necessarily get a second chance. Robocop's already out of print. It's like literally that's, you know, Festa's on what issue? 20 or 30 or something? Not that far in. That's already out of print. So if you see a part work you fancy right now, go for it. This is out of print, the DeLorean. But it is about to launch in the US. So if you're in the US and you fancy this, go to the link in the description below the video for US. It is about to launch this month. Right, that's NM screws. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Four. We've got to screw this paneling in. Yeah, if you see a part what you fancy, just do it. I looked on the D'Agostini site, and that's very similar. There's very few that are actually currently available, and I think it's just the financial reality of the day. It's nothing underhand by the partwork companies. It's just the fact that that's the way the world is at the minute. They can't afford to keep all these in the warehouse unendingly and in production unendingly. So, and that's why I've got this bit from Russia, because they've obviously been like, oh, we're a bit low on the warehouse supplies for our warehouse, let's get some from somewhere else. And they're probably like, hey, we got a load, we're not going to get anything doing anything with in Russia, let's just get all them back here. That kind of makes sense. One would hope that they are not actually fulfilling orders in Russia. But yeah, so that's the reality, unfortunately. I'm sure it'll come back at some point. They'll know if there was great interest and a lot of people missed out. They'll know, and they'll relaunch these things every now and then for a couple of years. And it certainly wouldn't do them any harm every few years to say, oh, we're going to relaunch the whatever it is, you know, the Diag or the Eleanor or something. Who's interested? And if they get like a billion subscriptions, then they'll be like, right, we can do that again then. Let's do it. Because then they've got all the parts. But even more so with these ones from Eagle Moss, of course, because all they did was buy all the stuff that was left over from Eagle Moss. They just bought a warehouse full of stuff. So the Eagle Moss stuff, I think once that's gone, that's gone. Because Eagle Moss made all the stuff. They may have all the tools and dies, but I think the Eagle Moss stuff might be, once it's gone, it's gone. I don't know, because I say they are about to launch it in the US, so maybe. Who can say? Partworks are a strange creature. I wouldn't like to be the person in charge of the logistics of knowing what to manufacture. I mean, can you imagine? Like, you're a model kit manufacturer and you've got a machine that just plonks out the 3 sprues you need for a model kit. There you go, 1, 2, 3, done. You make 1 million of them, you sell them in. Now imagine you've got a part work and you've got 1,000 different materials, probably all being outsourced to different places to make, and you've got to send them all out at different times. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare. I hate anything logistical like that at the best of times. It gives me the yips, but wow, it must be an absolute nightmare figuring all that out. I don't envy whoever's job that is. Woo. Right, so we need to get the body frame back. Oy. Body frame, you'll come bouncing back. No, can't sing that, can't sing that. Shh. I didn't start singing anything. Silence, silence. Right, so this is where I've pulled the camera out again now. Do. Don't look down that end of the bench. It's a bit of a bomb site. He said something else then. Yeah, it's a bit of a bomb site down there. All the tools willy-nilly and hither and yon. Should be in focus, I think. Should. Wipe my nose again. Now, if you're in the US and you're thinking about this part work, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. It's not perfect, but there's a lot of upgrade kits available for it from third parties, and it's all right. You know, it's a few issues and niggles, but nothing major. So we need to put the... Apologise, I've got the sniffles. The camera goes on, lights go on, sniffles come out. Always the way. Right, now I need to know where I put those parts. There they are. So the pistonium goes in there, like that, you'll see. Spawned. I also apologise if all you keep seeing is the back of my head or something, because that's a bit rubbish, but... And this needs to go in. Little blanking plate to... I keep doing this to try and pick up the photo etch, but I've got a glove on, so I can't do that because I'm a dingus. So what I have got there, I've got Chinese unreadable, I've got a pen. Picking things up. That's nicely working. Oh, it does work. There you go. Photo etch pen from another Chinese manufacturer that came from somewhere. I don't know where I got that from. Probably Amazon. I don't know. Let's put this on here again. Same as before, just the one screw. Just the one, Mrs. Wembley. Which is going to be an QM screw. Not a QM screw, not an QM screw. Spoonigans, says McLeish. Oh, hello, McLeish. Spoon. I've got a new word for you, McLeish. I've got a new favourite word that I made up that probably isn't made up. Spond. S-P-O-N-D. That's my new word, spond. That I've decided to use all the time. I don't know where it came from. I just said it one day and spond. Oh, that's a good word. So it's the word now. Spond is the word. Right, so that's that bit in. Now we need to install the door. Yeah. To get 2 QM screws ready and waiting. Zwei Screwen gefahren. If I want to get a screw out of these little bags, they never come out. If I don't want to get one out, they just fall out with no effort. It's kind of annoying. Right, so now we need to do the threading of the bit again, and we need to get that wire to get that label to go through. So we've got to fold this label up again. I like to fold it, fold it. Tweezers. Unfold that one now. Yeah. Tweezers. Can you imagine if they didn't give these number labels on the wires? Oh god, I'd be like, when I did the X-Wing, because it was my first proper part work that I was actually going that far on to do wiring, because I did the Falcon, but I didn't get far enough to do any real wiring. I didn't know what the number stickers were for, so I just pulled them off. That was a bad idea. I didn't think you needed to keep them on, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you do. Right, so this needs to go through here. Need to get the things lined up. Gentlemen, line up your things. Into the magic hole you go. Let's see what the good doctor has in his magic bag. If you can name that game, I'll give you 5 new pence. I won't really give you 5 new pence. Oh. Spond. Hopefully that's locked in place. QM, I'm about to now wiggle my hands around like a mad person. It's not even remotely in, is it? It's also not even remotely the correct hole, you spoon. Ah, la 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 la. Gentlemen, pull your screw out. Oh, sponge. Come on, you come. Don't make me turn the thing over and pull the door out again, because that'll make me sad. I'm going to have to pull the door out again, aren't I? Me. I'm going to have to put yes. There it is. Yay! All the things opening and closing. All the things. Right, let's try that again, shall we? Once again with feeling. Assuming that these are still lined up. The little hinge might have unlined up itself, you see. I think it actually has. Oh yes, it has. You need to be sticking up like that. This is not easy. See, these hinges are stiff as until you need them to stay there and line them up, and then they just decide to flop down again. It is the eternal dilemma. And I know you just see in the back of my head, but it's a nice back of my head. There we go, one more. Hopefully this hinge is also lined up correctly. Not at all. Okay. Okay, let us turn round and do some finagling. Finagling. Apologies, you probably can't see them. I need the torch again. Right, I'm going quiet while I've got a torch in my gob. Now it is lined up in place. Yes, I think it is. Apply this. Oh, where's the screw? There it is. I got it. I got it. Right, let's see if we can get the screw on the screwdriver with one hand. Yeah. Get the screw in there. Which, apologies. Oh, you can't see. Oh, sponge. I was so close. So close. You little ne'er-do-well. Let's get you back again. Oh. Come on, line up. Hanging doors is always interesting. Right, down you go. What are you catching on, door? What are you actually catching on? I should really take the hood down, shouldn't I, really? Alright, this is catching on something, but I'm not sure what. Oh, that piston isn't helping. Come here, you. Ne'er-do-well. Yeah, one hinge was very stiff and was perfect because you put it in the right position and drop it down. The other one is not stiff at all. A bit of a ne'er-do-well. Should be in now. Yes, huge success. It's making me wonder if I should check the other two hinges. Make sure they were both lined up, because one of them wasn't going in properly, was it? I wonder if the foot hinge on that door isn't quite seated properly. No, twice I bang that now. Oh no, it is. Both hinges are in. Okay, cool. So we need to, if I remember correctly, sort out the hydraulics with a QM screw. One more QM screw. Steady now. Getting a bit hungry. Ah, dropping screws everywhere. No! I might just make myself some Marmite on toast if the bread is still in date. If not, I shall not. And it'll just be bendy sausage and beans again. Right, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, the piston, that's right, the hydraulic. Watch where are we up to? It's half an hour, everyone. I've done that one. Take care, John. Bye, John. Audio and video spooningans. Okay, we're up to date with chat. How you doing, McLeish? It's nice to see you getting back into the chats and stuff. You've been out of the loop for a little while, haven't you? Alright, that needs to go up a little bit. And we'll see if this one, I've got to do screwdriver in my left hand now. This is going to be a challenge. I'm right-handed, so yeah, left hand screwing, always tricksy, always tricksy. I'm not going to survive this, am I? I'm not going to do it first time round. I can't even coordinate my left hand to do anything. I don't even know if I'm screwing it the right way. Is it left or right? I don't even know. Oh, I might have done a huge... No, I didn't do a huge success. I might have done. Might have just about got away with it. Just about. Put my arm there. And my hand in shot. Oh, huge success. Except I need to get a bigger screwdriver. For some reason that one's being awkward. Yes, yes. Ah, my hand's stuck. Oh, drastic measures. Let's turn this round. Let's take it from behind. Wait, I just said that, didn't I? Yes. That's in. Ah, see, that one's a bit better, but still rubbish. We'll give you the hydraulic rams so the doors stay open. Do they work? No, not in the remotest. Not even slightly, but that one's a bit stiffer. It's just abysmal, isn't it? It's like, oh well, never mind. Doesn't matter. If I actually display them in some way, I'll figure out some way to wedge them open subtly. Maybe a bit of cocktail stick or something, and then when I take the photograph, I can Photoshop that out. I'll figure something out. So there we go. We've got both doors, and I have to say, DeLorean doors, they're just goddamn iconic. They are just fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. And I have to say as well, this does look a lot bigger on the telly box that you're looking at now than it is in real life. I mean, it's big in real life, but just looking at my screen now, looking at my preview screen on OBS, this looks massive. It is big, don't get me wrong, but it looks enormous on screen. Wow. Righty-tighty or clockwise? Yeah, but that's with my right hand. With my left hand, all bets are off. It doesn't know which way's which. So we still got these two bits of plastic. I don't know what they're for. I shall not throw them away, though, because that would be the stupid thing to do. And much as I am professional at doing the stupid thing, I shall not do that. That was an NM screw, so we can put that in the NM screw slot. Okay. And I have to say, compared to the Dodge, hanging those doors was brilliant. Except that one's high up and that one's not. That's weird. Why is that one sitting? Is that one sitting high or is it not sitting high? Oh no, they're about the same. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, the Dodge. The problem with the Dodge was it was like hanging a real door. So you had two hinges there, and it sat like that. It wasn't at the right angle, and I had to put some little plastic shivs in behind the hinge when I screwed it in to make them sit correctly. Because just like a real door, you know, it's all weirdness and nonsense. So strange. That bit of interior there is not actually fitting properly. Why is that not fitting properly? Got a bit of the interior panel there is sticking out. That's a bit wrong. Oh, not to worry. It is a DeLorean. They weren't exactly built with quality in mind. Right, so what's next? That's that. So far, it's starting to look a lot like DeLorean. How are we on? 20 past for 1. What's next? Issue 75. If there's any little quick things to do, we'll get both of these issues done. All right, 75 is just the target top bit. Now we can do that. And then issue 76 is... Ooh, front wings. Which Looks fairly straightforward. We might get both these issues done then. Finish at 2 o'clock, if not earlier. Why not? As long as you guys don't mind. I know we've been going for a couple of hours now. A couple of hours and a half. If you're bored, I can stop. Right, so issue, whatever that is. I know it's not actually a target top, but it's the T bit in the... You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I know what the ladies like. That's a Halo reference. Sergeant Johnson, the legend. For a brick, he flew pretty good. You told me you were going to wear something nice. Dear humanity, we regret being alien bastards. We regret coming to Earth. And we most certainly regret the core just blew up our raggedy ass fleet. Yeah, I can't do Sergeant Johnson's voice. Go and play Halo. You'll thank your Uncle Fox. Right, so what do we do to do? Yeah. Take the T-shaped. Take up space now. Take the T-shaped central roof panels and line screwing. Make sure your screwing is aligned. Okay. So it's that one. Oh, push them in place, but they don't actually stay in place, so you can't actually do that. Or can you? No. Okay, so it's that way up. Because you've only got posts there. Okay, so I need to one at a time because you can't push them both in because they don't fit. So I need 2 AP. Oh, we've got screws, haven't we? AP screws. And screws. We can take these out of the bags because we don't need the bags. Ha this away. Ha, get out of my brain. Was that the put? Yeah, that was Paul Daniels, wasn't it? Oh God. I was quite happy when it was Johnny Ball. Now I know it's a Paul Daniels thing. Ugh, Paul Daniels. I'm sure he was a lovely fella. So, Debbie McGee, what was it that first attracted you to multi-millionaire Paul Daniels? This is such a great clip. Right, so I need to screw this bit in. This goes in. I'm doing this the right way or the wrong way? Yes, the right way. Goes in there. Oh, flipping over. Stay there. Oh God, I'll warn you now, folks. I think the next door neighbour's gone into his woodshed. They built like a nice little summer house thing, but he's filled it with all his woodworking tools and stuff, and he's been building cabinets and things. But which is, you know, all very nice, but it's all like circular saws and it's like all the time. Like the weekend comes, oh, weekend, I can have a lie in. Well, I think he's just making furniture for his house, so it's not forever. At first I thought, he better not be doing that for a living, because that won't be cool. Well, that every bloody weekend. But no. It appears to be building himself, and he's making like shelves and cupboards and stuff. It's all very good. It's just noisy. Right, I'm not even paying attention here. That needs to be that way. There we go. What even was that program with Paul Daniels then with Whizbit? What was was it a maths thing? What was it? Because he's a magician. What was his kids program about? Somebody look it up while we're doing this. What was it about? What was it? Was it called Whizbit? And what was it about? Did he show kids magic tricks? Was he talking about maths or something? I can't imagine any benefit to having a Paul Daniels show for kids if they're just teaching him silly magic tricks. Yes, kids, I'm going to teach you how to lie and deceive. I joke, obviously. Right, so this now needs to attach to here, like this, you see. Ooh. And just like the real DeLorean, the panel lines are almost flush. Right, that goes in there. Then I turn it over and do some screwing with many screws. So let us do some turning over. This is where everything now falls off and opens up. This is where you can break your wing mirrors, you see, if you don't fold them in, because yes. Right, so that needs to get back on there. Get back in your box. I can't see where it's going. Right, there we are. It's in. It's in. I'm in. Can you hear me, Vicar? Right, so we've got some NM screws. And they need to, where do they need to go? 2 in there. Excellent. Bit of wheel. Wait, which one's? That one. Okay. 2 sets of little screw holes here, and it's that one, front one, not the one behind it. Line the screw up on the screwdriver. Always a winner. Oh, got to put my hand under there because that's a bit loose. Screwdrivers all over the place. Slightly bigger screwdriver. That one will suffice. This perhaps might be better. Yeah, it's much better. Not much better. Let's try this one. Nope. Let's try my screwdriver. Yes. No. Almost. Option 3. Nope. I don't know. Every other NF screw has been perfect. Always get one that doesn't quite fit, and you're like, That's better. Right, next NM screw. Oh, Paul Daniels. I don't remember a lot about Paul Daniels, I'll be honest. I remember he was a very little fellow with an egg-shaped head. I like it, not a lot. I also remember that he had lots of guests on his magic show who were always vastly superior to him in their magic skills, and that was never mentioned. It's like being a singer and having a show where all your guests are actually vastly superior singers. You wouldn't do it nowadays, would you? That's a thing though, in the 1980s. So many of the well-known faces in the 1980s were just like, they were like Blackpool Winter Gardens type talent. That kind of, you know. Nowadays, when someone ends their career, you find them at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. In those days, most of them came from that kind of thing, you know, the kind of stage. Not vaudeville, but you know what I mean. There was a lot of rubbish on TV in the 80s. A lot of stuff that we enjoyed back in the day, which if you look back on it now, you'd be like, God, that was crap. But we didn't know better, you know. We knew no better. There's a lot of crap on TV now. Let's make no bones about it. Mama Wolf watches ITV3. And of course, between programmes, you get your adverts, and you often get adverts for normal ITV channel programmes that are coming up. And dear God, what a load of garbage that channel is. It's like, if it's not like celebrity phone-in drivel, it's non-celebrity phone-in drivel, or it's Davina McCall tracing your family or something. It's just all just lowbrow gink. It's just rubbish. Honestly, you people today that watch ITV, why? Have some dignity, people. I can't keep the door closed and the bonnet at the same time. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. Balancing, balancing. Yeah, just so much dross. Anything that says, we take 5 real people from the real world and, oh. If it's not 5 real people from the real world, it's celebrity rubbish. I don't know. I like doing my own streams where I can have a wibble and nobody can stop me. Right, so that's that bit done. The T-bar. It's actually not bad, that. It's not 100%. But it's not bad. Then again, the real car itself probably wasn't exactly specifically lush as, was it? Right, that's that one. We shall see if we can get the next one done, because that's just making and hanging a wing, I think. I think we can get that done before we go home, don't you? I think we can. Papa, this is... Oh, it's in my head. Oh. Let's put that down there. I do like it on a car build when it starts to be like the body panels coming together and it starts to look like an actual car. And you're like, yeah. Right, so with the torch. I need the knife. I think I need the knife. Jeff says hi to Phil, Christopher, John and Andy. What do you think about modern TV, folks? Especially if you're in the UK, what do you think about like ITV and stuff? Any of you out there actually like ITV? If so, I'm not mocking you, but I'd love to know why. What is it about ITV that makes you enjoy it? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's lots of crap on the BBC as well, but at least BBC have a few, you know, redeeming things to watch every now and then. That was an NM. AP screws. So many AP. Look at this. But these are all the spare AP screws. Look at, there's millions of them. APs, DMs. But APs, because you always get like at least one spare. There's thousands of them. And this is great. Do like I do. When you finish your part work, put all your spare screws in a tub. I've got billions of them. Because the number of times, especially on the Iron Man I did it, and on the X-Wing, and a bit on this DeLorean, I've had a screw that just doesn't quite work. It'll say, you know, screw this piece in with an AP screw, and you're like, it's not quite long enough. There's one on the DeLorean on the engine block where the screw they said wasn't quite long enough, and I didn't have any other screws in here to borrow from that were quite the right screw. So I went into my pot here and just pulled them out and went through them and found a screw from my X-Wing that was exactly the right length and width and everything. It was perfect. So never throw your screws away. You'll always find something useful. Oh, DM. Right. What's infuriating is when they cancel good shows to make room for more crap. Cough, Lower Decks, cough. Yeah, exactly. Lower Decks is fantastic. Should keep going, Lower Decks. Although, Tawny Newsom, is that her name? Tawny Newsom? She is staying on to be in a live-action Star Trek show, apparently. So, don't forget, of course, they cancelled flipping Star Trek Prodigy, which was great. I actually like Star Trek Prodigy. But no, they cancelled that. But then it was brought up by somebody else who then made the next, or released that series. So, yeah. The moment says something's gone to Netflix. I don't have Netflix. But the moment something goes to Netflix, you know they're going to get one season and then cancel it. Which is kind of why I'm glad that Amazon took up Fallout. Because at least you know you're going to get 2 or 3 seasons of Fallout. You know, they did well. They did good with The Expanse. They got 3 seasons out of that. But Paramount, they just don't know what they're doing. Just make Star Trek and just keep it going. Stop messing about with it. Dimbulons. Right. Have to make a winnig. Winged. So, I don't know what we're doing then with them silly words. Wing. was trying to make the weird wings sound funny, but it didn't work. Right, so we need an AP screw. AP screw. Yeah, the thing about that Lower Decks series, it's animated, so it's like, it's not really a biggie to keep it going. If you're getting the viewing figures, it's not like you're paying for like sets and maintenance of sets. You're just paying all the artists and the production company to make it. You're not paying for the maintenance of a studio lot with the set and physical standing sets. Just keep it going. The actors can you know, can drop in and do the voice work, you know, for a month. They're only 25 minutes long. It's not like a big ask, is it? And I have to say, Lower Decks is probably the best Star Trek series out there at the minute. I mean, Strange New Worlds, whatever it is brilliant. I love that. But Lower Decks is by far the best Star Trek series at the moment. And possibly one of the best Star Trek series. I did like Prodigy, though. I know it was a kids series, but I enjoyed that. It was actually really good. If nothing for just getting a bit more Janeway, because although I didn't really rate Voyager, and this is the thing, right, I like Next Gen, I like all the Star Trek. I even enjoyed Enterprise. I know, go figure. But DS9 was my absolute gold standard for Star Trek. I don't rate the original series. I know it's heretical, but I did when I was a kid, but now I'm an adult. I can't watch the original series without just going, eh. DS9, creme de la creme. Oh, we've got to put this on the body now. Oh, push it onto the right. I've got to bring the body back. Bring back the bodies. We've got to do more lifting and bending and flapping open of the things, aren't we? See, I want to put some tape on the doors and stuff to stop them opening, but I'm scared that if I do that, it'll pull the paint off like it did on the X-Wing. I put like little tape on the X-Wing, on the blasters, the laser cannons, to denote which was which, and because it was a little spray of paint, it just pulled it all off. It's like, really? Right, so we're going to need to do 4 DM screws. Oh dear, 4 DM screws. We can do that. Let's put that there. Yeah, this is where it starts to look like a car now. A proper DeLorean. Yes, I know, I'm doing that deliberately. Oh, yeah. Now we're cooking with gas, folks. There is gas, and with it we are cooking. This is, yeah, I can see where people are breaking their wing mirrors. Their side mirrors. Right, DM screws. Oh, DM. What size are these? Can these go on this big screwdriver? Is that too big? Let's get the right size screwdriver first. That might work. It's very magnetical. DM screws need to go 2 there and 2. God, I can hardly see them myself. You won't be able to see anything. Apologies, it's going to be a bit out of view for you guys, but it's barely viewable for me. I can barely get at it. Might have to get creative with this. Hang on a second. Yeah. That's a bit better. Possibly. A bit better for me anyway. You guys, maybe not. It's all black, so you can't see anything anyway. Why do I do it this way? Hang on. Here's an idea. Now, I know you guys can't see any of this, but, you know, actually, I can't see any of this either because it's completely in the dark. Oh, bear with me, chaps and chapesses. That screwdriver is absolute garbage. Completely the wrong size. Nope. Oh, lorks are mossy. There's got to be an easier way to do this. Do. all about finding the correct angle of dangle. And this is not easy to get in. Now I'm going to have to take off the luggage thing anyway. So maybe I'll just take that off first and put these in. I can't get a grip on the screwdriver. I need a 90-degree screwdriver, but that's a thing I don't even know exists. That's a thing I certainly don't have anyway. That's a bit better, maybe. This bottom, how the hell am I going to screw that in? How do I get a screwdriver onto that? That's not going to happen, is it? That is not going to happen. I think what I must do is I must remove this luggage compartment. I'm going to need to anyway, to get all the carpet and stuff in. That's the wrong screw. So what I'm going to do, can I get the, is it just, where's it screwing? Where is it actually attached? I thought the door had come off then. I'm like, oh, the door's come off, but no, the hinge is on the top, you spoon. Remembering which exact specific screws hold the luggage rack in is tricksy. So let's get this out. It's not going to give me a lot of help, but it'll get rid of this big bulky thing, get out of the way, which will be most helpful. I'm going to need to take the bonnet off again, put the carpet under the bonnet frame. Do this. It's going to be a little bit of work to get it all installed, but we'll be fine. Now, is this going to be enough to take the whole rack out? Might be. Yes, aha! Okay, well that's the luggage compartment. That's easy because now I can get... How are they supposed to get a screwdriver in there with that luggage? How do they even think you're going to do that? Really? Really? Designy people? Really? I'll try not to go that high again. I find it a bit folly-some that they expect you to be able to get you, unless you happen to have a 90-degree screwdriver, which they don't provide you with. Is that even a thing that exists, a 90-degree screwdriver? I don't even know if that's a real thing that exists. Right, there you go. That's a bit better. Hoppa! This so oh, it's in my head. Still in my head. I'm going to take this screw back out again and wiggle it around a bit. Because sometimes if a screw's being awkward, if you just back it out and put it back in again, I'll put some more oil on it. If you back it out and back it in, because sometimes the parts have paint in the screw thread areas. Well, you just drop the screw. You just need to... Ah, it's not magnetic at all. Wiggle them in and out a bit. Banging the microphone as you do. So. Excuse me. I've got my crumpled thinking face on at the minute. Right, so that's those two. We'll get the other two screws in place, which is there and there and where? Where's there? Where does it go? Oh, there and there. Okay. I can do that. I can do this. I can do this. I can also do big burps as well. I like big... No, I can't sing that. Just get the 4 screws in loosely for now, and I'll just get them seated. See, that's easier to get to, so I can screw this one normally like a normal human being. Oh, a really tickly cough. I don't know why. After a couple of hours at the bench with the cameras and lights on, I just get this really scratchy cough, which I don't get for any other reason. I know you can't see any of this, Like I say, I can barely see it. It's a black screw on a black background, surrounded by black. And covering the entire car in arm jam, which is always a winner. Is that in? I mean, there's worse things I could cover it in than arm jam, but arm jam is what we're working with. That's better. This angle's good. There we go. Yeah, so if you're building this and you get to this bit, you're going to have to take the luggage compartment out. So I would recommend, to be honest, just leaving it out to this part, because there's no reason for it to actually be installed. And if you're doing a third party like add-on kit anyway, I would also suggest maybe don't install the bonnet until this part. Not for any other reason, it's just flapping about and being a pain. Right, so that's that wing, I think. Oh, no, I've got this one to do it. I think those two are in. Yeah, they're in enough. It's as good as they get. Really careful these wing mirrors. You can actually get to the wing mirror, so it might even be worth not attaching them until you've done everything else, because you can still get to them just about. Right, now we have the wing. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's starting to look, you can't see it, can you? It's on the wrong side, unfortunately. That's starting to look very DeLorean-y now. It's starting to come together. When you see just one panel and you've got thumb marks on, you think it is, and the paint effect. But when it's got everything on it, and it's got all the pipe work and stuff, this brushing effect, because like I said, it's basically bare metal, and I don't think they sprayed it black to start with. They might have, but then they brushed silver paint over it, but just in a way that's left the brush lines. You know, if you do like a thin coat and you get the lines of brush lines, they've kind of done that. Which I have to admit, can't be easy to get it right, because if I did it or you did it, we get like a block of solid paint and a block of thin paint and a big bald patch. So I'm not sure how they've done it. So it does look pretty good. And it kind of has a certain scale brushed aluminium look. Or brushed steel, whatever it was. Brushed stainless steel. So in scale it works, but yeah. But now you start to get it together, it starts to make sense. Now, doesn't quite fit flush with the bonnet, but we'll live. Now, what's next? I think that ends this issue. Oh no, we have to do the other one. Oh, it says from issue 2. Do you remember in issue 2 we made a fender panel? They call it a fender panel, we call it a wing. I do like the American name for car parts. Right, let's go and dig it out. Where is it? Do you remember? Over a year ago now, I made the other wing, or fender panel. Now the problem you've got here, of course, is that that is shiny and that isn't. They're kind of similar. Oh no, they're exactly the same. That's right. I just thought it looked a bit more shiny than the rest, but it's about the same. Get rid of that bit of tissue. That's been sat in my storage crate for a year, that has. So now we have the same again for dimmer screws. It would make a great pickup if you just had a flatbed there. It would make a great looking pickup. It would actually. Right, so now we need to do this side as we just did a moment ago. So very carefully laying it down. Sorry I'm like Mr. Fox, my dog ate my homework, says Stefan last. Hey Stefan, you're more than welcome, mate. No worries about being late. You're allowed to be late because of, I don't know, some reason or other that I've not made up yet. Phil say, hello. What's infuriating is when they cancel good shows to make room for more. Oh, you've done that one. I know what you mean about Voyager. For some reason it bored me to tears. It did. Voyager, Next Generation, DS9, to a little bit Enterprise, and all the modern series, they all have good ensemble casts, apart from Discovery, which I can barely remember the names of most of the casts because none of them really impress me. But Voyager, I like Voyager, but the cast, the characters, they never gelled. I love an ensemble cast. That's the kind of thing I watch. I love binging ensemble cast series. House, West Wing, NCIS, all that kind of stuff. Where you've got a group of characters. Wager never really worked. You never got anywhere with the characters. You know, Paris, Kim, Chakotay, all of them. You never really gelled with them because they never had any depth to them. Really. Not really. You know, I mean, nothing comes close to Odo and Quark. Next Gen had Data and his quest for humanity, and that was good. But yeah, but the thing is, despite all that, Janeway was a brilliant character and a great captain. And you can see why Robert Beltran got so fed up and was really not that, didn't really want to have any, hello helicopter, didn't really feel any connection to Voyager after he left, and why he didn't really do the conventions very often, because his character was wasted. They took his character, they slapped a very cliche native First Indian type character on it, did a token bit of like First Nation, Native American backstory, which was almost insulting in its clichéness, and then didn't do anything after that, and didn't give him anything after that. It's like, really? So you understand why he came away aggrieved with it, because it was like they just didn't give him anything interesting. It was just they were all just kind of wallpaper characters, sadly. A bit bland. But Janeway, you can't go wrong with Janeway. Janeway was great. Do. Full speed ahead. There's coffee in that nebula. There was some good Voyager stuff, don't get me wrong. We will not discuss any of the Irish characters or ghostly characters or any of that drivel. No, we pretend that doesn't exist. All that nonsense. All that nonsense does not exist. If there's one thing I could wish going forward, it's that aside from Miles O'Brien, Star Trek never, ever, ever, ever includes an Irish character ever again, because every time they do an Irish character, they get a non-Irish actor to play it. And you end up with that god-awful American vision of what an Irish person sounds like. Oh, hello, bejabbers. Oh, you have an Irish person. Oh, yes, potato. No, and that's what, and it's like, oh, God. Like the Voyager one where they had like a whole group of people that were supposed to be, I don't know how the storyline, I can't remember now, but it was all like that, and I can't watch. The moment you get that faux Irish scriptwrite characters, it's like, oh, just no, I can't watch this episode. Oh, the potato. No, that's and that whole thing with the ghost of the, oh. But then you see, it had the Doctor, and the Doctor in Voyager was fantastic. Robert Picardo, his character and Janeway were the only two redeemable characters in there. Everybody else was just boring. Harry Kim, Paris, nothing happened, not really. We definitely don't discuss the one where him and Janeway turned into dinosaurs and lizards. Don't discuss that one ever. Right, that is that wing installated. And I think that's the end of that pack as well. Yeah, that's the end of that pack. Oh, we're getting to the back end next time. Oh yeah. I would like getting around to the back end. Start again. Right, so we have now. See, this is the bit I like, doing the bodywork and stuff. It's fun, that bit. You can't really go too wrong. Got that wing, fender, if you wish, and the doors. And this is starting to look lovely. Because say what you will about the DeLorean, it was an incredible looking car. It's so iconic. Never mind all your Elon Musk and his bloody Cybertruck drivel. Looks like it was designed by a 5-year-old that's never seen a car before. This is a classy design. And even by 1980s standards, which was square boxy cars, even by 1980s standard, it's got a certain look to it that just sets it apart, a mile apart. If I had the money, I would have a DeLorean. If I suddenly won millions on the lottery, I would get one. I'd buy a new one from the company that makes them in the US with a decent engine or even an electric engine. And I'd be happy as a pig in the slop. Right, so I shall leave it there. I'm expecting that interior frunk kit today, I think. Hopefully, I'm assuming it's sent first class, so it should be today or tomorrow. When that turns up, we shall get that sorted out. It's basically a carpet and foam and stuff like that. So we'll do that. I've got to take the bonnet apart, hood, and install that under the frame. And it's like adhesive carpet things, so you have to make sure you don't screw them up. And then we will crack on. You know, I know what'll happen though. I'll get it. I'll put it all in and be like, oh, I wish I'd done all the other extras kits now. But you could spend hundreds and hundreds on extras. Like, see, it does the railway set with a wooden base and a proper wood and metal railway, but it's like 250 quid. No. So, yes. Right, so I need to put that back in there safely, the tyre thing. But I think what's going to do is one last look at chat. I have a 90-degree screwdriver. It's basically a little ratchet wrench with a screwdriver tip inserts. Cool. I mean, I've got this thing, and it's got this bit, which sticks out, but it doesn't. I think I have got a bendy one. I think it comes with a bendy bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got this thing, but it's bendular, and it ironically doesn't. It's all right, but it's not. It's too flexible. It doesn't really rotate very well, so that wouldn't have really helped me. And I've also totally forgot about that until just this is that moment. So, duh. So, handy candied, pun not intended. If you have the opposite wing, fit it now, says Hugh Gordon. Oh yeah. Here's the wing we made in the previous episode. Where are we? Snap Jeff comes in handy, says Hugh. All fiddlies being behind something can be very annoying. Yeah, it does seem strange that they get you to put that in and then you have to take it out again to get round it to put that in when it's like... And they don't say you might want to remove this. At least it's easy to take out. But if you are building this, I wouldn't have even recommended putting the bonnet on yet. Or you could put the bonnet on, but just to save it flopping open every time you turn this bodywork upside down. I'm sure there'll be more of that. The bit I'm dreading is when you get the body shell and you fit it onto the chassis and you have to then, at least with the Dodge, you had to stand there with it like this up and you had to connect these wire things up and find some way to hold this up without using your hands. I had it leaning on I can't remember what I lent it on now, something. And then the chassis here, and then I'd be like trying to connect all the things up. That was fun. Hopefully what it'll be is that any wire, I'm hoping that any wires coming off the bodywork will hook into the stuff that goes in here. I don't know. I'm hoping it's easy. La 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 la. Right. Nothing else in chat. I'm kind of torn about Musk. Can't stand him, but I love space exploration, says Phil Bond. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's like I can't stand the person Musk, but you can't knock him for what he's done with SpaceX. Absolutely can't knock him for that. That is an amazing achievement. And to a certain degree with Tesla, with the cars, because yeah, okay, they're not perfect, but they kind of standardized the whole idea of electric vehicles to the point that before Tesla, electric vehicles were few and far between and charging stations, but now they're kind of becoming mainstream, and it's partially down to, you know, Tesla just getting them out there. Quality issues aside, I'm sure they're, you know, fine. Loads of them around here. But yeah, as a person, I shall say nothing for obvious reasons, but yeah, I don't know. It's Twitter to me. It's Twitter, not X. It's Twitter. Always will be. Don't know about personally Phil, but he's a clever sod. Right. That will do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. Didn't quite mean to go for 3 hours. I just having fun, that's it. I will be back theoretically tomorrow with another morning nonsense at 11 o'clock. Maybe occasional days where I start at 12, not 11, because there's stuff I need to do in the mornings normally. So, but usually at 11 o'clock. So just make sure you've subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell. I'm not going to post up every single day that I'm doing the morning nonsense, because that's going to get really annoying every day. I'm putting a post up saying, hey, I'm on tomorrow. So just assume that it's every day. Come along to the channel. It'll be there on the front page. I'll schedule it in now. It'll be there on the front page in a bit. And assume it's every day. And if it's not, I'll probably post up saying I'm not doing one today, then I am doing one. So there you go. We'll carry on with this. Once this is up to date, because we've got about 4 more packs to do. Once this is up to date, I'll switch to the Ford GT40, which I have all the packs for now. So we will actually finish that throughout the course of the stream. And then once we've got those up to date, these will be occasional when they come in, I'll do them. Other than that, then we'll crack on with something at the bench. Probably crack on with my Orc Mega Track or something like that. Because I've got lots of things that I need to build and paint and get on eBay. One of the reasons for doing the stream is so I can actually get back to the bench, get doing stuff, and getting stuff on eBay, because I need the income, desperately need the income. You know, I'm not working, I'm looking after my wolf, so I need to get selling things on eBay again and painting and stuff like that and doing content. So, but yeah, so we'll crack on with this tomorrow. Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to support the channel and you don't already, please do consider becoming a patron. Go to patreon.com/, that's a backslash, that's a // gurufoxx, GURUFOXX, or you can become a channel member by pressing join under the channel button. I will be back tonight on the eModels channel on YouTube for the eModels Monday show, and I think we're doing a gallery show tonight, so if you haven't done already, go along to the Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/scale model addicts with an S on the end, and make sure to post up some nice pictures of work you've been doing. If you're not already a member, become a member, and we'll make sure to show them tonight, as many as we can. But I'll be back with Ted and Colin, and possibly Chris dropping in with his voice from the heavens for tonight's show. That's at 9 o'clock tonight on the eModels YouTube channel. And then I'll be back on Friday with Fester on his Frolic on his channel, and then next week again. I won't be here next Monday because I'll be away on Monday, so... But yeah. Anyway, I shall see you later on tonight and then tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Thank you again, everybody. Please... he says, thanks, Fox. You helped me get a lot done on my build. No problem. Phil, my pleasure. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome, like this. Go be awesome, like this. And until next time, I shall say, adios, amoebas. I did it again. I think am I still live? I forgot the titles again. Hang on. If I'm still live, I think I'm still live. Let me just check. Are we still live? La, 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 la. Are we still live? I think we are. Oh, we're not live. I think we're live. Yeah, we're still... I've done it twice now because it's been ages since I've done live streams. I've got my stream deck set up and I just press stop. And then I'm like, oh, hang on, I've got end titles to do. Right, so anyway, take care, everybody. See you soon. Adios, amoebas.